What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the After Effect Podcast. I am your host, LeBron Stephen, but you can call me LBZ, L Boogie, Big Brian, B Brian, LB, Bronny, whatever you choose. Welcome to episode 47. We have a very special guest, Jordan Bernstine. He's on the show today. I'm California native, matriculated to Des Moines, Iowa, I believe in sixth grade. Was a local and state star in the state of Iowa. Me and Jordan actually met at the 2006 Nike camp where we both made the Elite 11. We attended the University of Iowa in the same year, 2007. He was plagued by injuries early in his career, but ended up starting his senior year, having an amazing senior year. Ended up being drafted in the seventh round of the 2012 NFL Draft, 217th overall. Played with the Redskins for, I believe, 2 years. Had a bunch of CFL tryouts, NFL tryouts, but retired from the game early and got into entrepreneurship. Now is the co-owner and trainer at Ground Up Sports Performance in Colorado Springs, Colorado, the Denver Tri-City area. Um, uber excited for Jordan to jump on and give us his after effect and kind of just expound on his story. We were teammates for 4.5 years. I've even been out to Denver and trained with him in Colorado Springs as well. So, we go back to 2007. So just super uber excited to get him on to hear his after effect or after shock of his athletic career, and hear his opinion on some endeavors that he's into now. So just send him the link, and when he jumps on, we will go.
Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, happy Sunday, bro.
Hey, happy Sunday, my brother. Good to see your face, man.
Hey, it's good. It's good to see you too, man. How you been, man? How you been during these unprecedented times?
I've been good, man. Trying to stay healthy like everybody else.
Right.
Trying to stay out the way and keep building at ground up, man. Just staying active and staying busy with all this craziness going on. How
Yeah.
about
Same
yourself?
here. Hey, same here, man. Like you said, trying to stay active, staying safe. Congrats on the new space, man. I saw the new space. You and your
Mhm.
business partner, co-owner, man. You all have been at it for a while. I know I've been out there to train with you back in like 2016, so I know the energy out there is good. So, man, congrats on
Mhm. I just saw that video. That
that. Yeah, bro. So this is called the After Effect
video
Pod.
just popped up.
Right. Yeah, that was an epic time, man. So yeah, I call this the After Effect podcast or the After Effect show. It's my belief that as athletes, we all have an after effect or after shock from our athletic career. We were in a 10 to 20 year relationship, and when that's done, and we have to transition outside of sports and figure life out, I feel like we all have an after effect, and I've always felt like that transition was minimized. Like I said, us having a 20+ year relationship with football, for example, and when it's all said and done, we have to figure life out and go get a job and figure out what we're passionate about outside of football. So
Absolutely.
this is a free and safe space for us to kind of relive our athletic journey, but more importantly, talk about the transition out and the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of the whole athletic journey, man. So this is just a platform for us to speak about that a little bit.
Absolutely, man. That transition, that transition was definitely different, man. I was a football player through and through.
Exactly.
Simple as that. I mean, anybody that knows me knows that it was like, hey, well, what else are you gonna do? I'm gonna play football. I'm gonna get to the NFL. I'm gonna,
Exactly.
I had blinders like crazy. Even when I was at Iowa and not starting, it was still like, yep, getting to the NFL, getting to the
You know
NFL.
it.
Like when
Hey, you
everybody
know
else
it.
thinks it's crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so with that said, that transition definitely takes time. It takes time
Exactly.
to be able to find your passion, find something
Hmm.
that you actually love to do,
Hmm.
versus just trying to chase what's going to pay you the most, because that's kind of
Exactly.
was the goal in football. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get to
Right.
this, to get to the highest level, which happened to be the highest financial level as well. Uh,
Right.
so with that said, being able to find something that you actually love doing every day. I mean,
Okay.
I was lucky enough to find that passion, and it was around the
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
that you were coming out there to
Yeah.
when I was up at Muscle Farm and starting to train some
Mm-hmm.
athletes, different
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was not what I thought I was going to be doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I just
Right.
love it. I really do, man.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that you found your passion fairly early because if you remember, even in 2016, I played arena football that year. Like I
Hmm.
was still chasing the dream. I was still trying to figure it out. I still really
Absolutely.
wanted to play. I was still really passionate about football. So like you literally trained me, like for that
Yep.
weekend that I came out there, man. So it was refreshing to see you kind of find your passion. Kind of it felt organic. It felt like it organically happened. It kind of wasn't
Hmm.
planned or anything like that. You kind of just fell into it. And as an athlete, you can always tell when things happen authentically and when they're kind of like forced or pushed. So
And that's kind of the best word to put it. That's the word I always use as well. It's just organic. It was very
right,
real and true for me. I mean, I didn't go like, hey, I'm gonna start training these athletes and do this kind of thing.
right,
Instead, it was
right,
those same blinders to get my own knee back healthy. I'm training
right,
twice a day, 3 times a day, just because the facility is down the road.
right,
So my reason for being there and training was to get myself back in the NFL with those same blinders. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
And while I was doing that, I started having some younger athletes, some high school DBs, corners, safeties, stuff like that, some college guys. Like, hey man, I see you up here training every day. I'm trying to come up here and work out with you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I'm
yeah,
like, hey,
yeah,
you've worked out with me before, like when I was training. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna go out here and do this. I'm gonna try to do it at a high level, and you try to meet
right,
that. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
that
right,
was just kind of how it kind of started with me. I was going out, I was doing the drills first, every rep. I'm going, and
right,
then you going. And when they would go, I'm like, hey, get lower. Hey, stop doing
right,
this.
right.
Hey,
You
use
just
your
you started,
arms. Do
yeah, you
this.
started coaching them up just off of what you do. Yeah,
Exactly. Like just from the things that I've been coached up about
right,
from doing them the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
right,
I was doing them the wrong way as well until somebody told me, hey, this is the right way to do it. You know what I'm
right.
saying? And that really just resonated with me uh, to the fact that, hey, these kids don't know anything.
Mm-hmm,
Like if
mm-hmm.
they've never heard it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? A lot of these kids love the game of football. They love being able to compete, but they haven't heard a lot of good coaching points. You know what
right,
I'm
right.
saying? So,
And yeah, they needed
uh,
that coaching.
so being that I've had a lot of good coaches
Mm-hmm,
coach me with a lot of small details and just things
mm-hmm,
like that have really helped my game.
mm-hmm.
Once I started being able to get across these points to those athletes, I started seeing that progress over time. So
Right, right.
after after seeing them get coached up and hearing these things and being able to
Mm-hmm.
apply them for a few
Apply and
months,
get
like
better. Right, right.
now they're moving completely different and
Mm-hmm,
understanding defense completely different and just
mm-hmm,
things like that. So
mm-hmm.
that was my first taste of being able to see that progression and
Right.
see that process
Mm-hmm.
actually work. So I
Right,
just
right.
loved it from there, man.
Right, right. And like I said before, it seems so authentic, man. So before I dive into your childhood and just your athletic career in general, I've always felt like we were more than athletes. So I just let me get your take on just a couple current events, man. So first off, what is your take? We're both Big Ten alumni. What's your take on arguably the best, the GOAT, the best quarterback ever to live, the best football player ever to live, Tom Brady, winning his seventh ring. And a lot of people forget that he went to Michigan. He's a Big Ten alumni. I think that
Hmm.
playing in the Big Ten, I think is just special. And only the only guys that can really attest to that are guys that played in the Big Ten for years and know what
Absolutely.
those really tough, gritty, in the trenches games are like, and like how your body feel after those battles and stuff like that. So what's your
Hmm.
take on somebody from our conference like Tom Brady just really putting on for the conference and being arguably like the best player to ever play?
Man, it is amazing. Shoot, I kind of fell in line with the hype of those young playmakers as well, man. Just
Right.
that with that Chiefs team being so fun to watch.
Mhm.
Uh, but with that said, man, it's hard to bet against that man. You know what I'm
Can't
saying?
bet
From
against
that standpoint,
him.
it really is, and he's been doing it for so long, and that's something
So
that
long.
I was just talking to my youth athletes about at the gym the other day. Was like, man, this dude Brady, I was watching him when I was your age, and you
Exactly.
know what I'm saying. And then I played all of high school, all of college. I got to
Right.
the NFL. I'm out of the NFL. I'm doing this, and this dude is still
Still
doing that.
playing.
Still doing that. All right, it is
Still doing it, man.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Uh, just how long he can play at that level. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that is just
Exactly.
that's just different and something that is remarkable, man. And that as an
Exactly.
athlete, you can't do anything but respect it.
Can't do nothing
I
but
mean,
respect
same with LeBron and these guys that you've seen play for 16, 17 years. It's just
Right.
crazy. You
It's
know what I'm
crazy, bro.
saying? Because that life of an athlete can be cut short so quickly, as I know
So quickly.
personally.
I'm telling you,
So
injuries and all those
quickly.
things. Yeah. 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 I can definitely attest to that, bro. Like just watching it and knowing what that grind is like. Like you said, you can't do nothing but respect it. And it's like at this
Not
point,
long.
people counted him out. He just got 7. So at this point, it's like, man, he might get 8. He might get 9. I mean, we don't know what's gonna
They
happen.
do not know. But with that said, going back to the original question, man, that conference in the Big Ten is just different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
has their own views of the different conferences and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, I just love that power football. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That the Big Ten is
Exactly.
known for. Uh,
Exactly.
I like to being in the trenches, coming up downhill next to you,
Oh
and then
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, at the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage versus
Yeah.
being 20 yards deep, just chasing these post routes and stuff like that.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
so I mean, just the physicality of Big Ten football is different.
Yeah.
And Michigan as well. I mean, I loved playing Michigan my
Right.
senior
Me
year,
too.
dude.
Me
That
too.
game was crazy.
I just
Uh,
watched that game on YouTube, man.
yes.
And I
Uh,
realized that we were actually, our class was actually 3-0. We never lost to Michigan. We beat them in '09. We beat them in 2010 in the big house, and we beat them again in 2011 on that last play
yes,
at Kinnick.
yes.
So it's like, I
And I couldn't even help at the big house. I remember I got hurt that week. I had on a big lineman knee brace, Don
think I
Joy,
remember that.
limping
Yeah,
around, looking nasty. Uh, oh man! But
but still,
not
just
to mention,
playing in front of 125,000 in the big house, man. That's just that experience, bro. It's just you cannot get it back.
man, it's crazy just being in that environment, man. So
Yeah.
then when they did get to come to Kinnick and I got to play against Michigan my senior year, I was playing with a sense of urgency. All
Oh
right.
yes,
I was
yes.
I was looking back at that game as well. Dude, I was flying around wherever the ball was. I think I had like
Yeah.
15 or 16
Yeah,
tackles
yeah,
that
yeah.
game.
You
It
went.
was
Oh
like the
yeah, you
most
went
I
off that
had
game.
in college, like my senior year. Like,
Right,
so that
right.
was just fun, man.
Yeah,
Just being able to experience those different things and
I'm telling you,
make some
man.
of those plays with my brothers, man.
You know it's crazy, man. You know I turned 32 this year. I believe you turned 32 as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I put a lot of pressure on myself and like literally this hanging my jersey up. This is the first year I ever hung my jersey up, bro. It used to be in my closet, like behind all my
Mm-hmm.
clothes. It was almost like I wasn't proud of what I had done because I felt like I underachieved. And finally, during the pandemic, I really had to take a deep dive and I created the podcast. But I started really thinking like, wow, all these experiences, there's value in all these things that I
Everything,
have done.
everything. Like,
Yeah,
and that's what you have to be able to do is find that value in those different experiences that you went through. Like,
exactly,
I,
exactly.
I'm always talking about, and that's something that I had to start doing naturally because I'm always explaining my story to our clients, to our
Yeah,
kids, to our,
yeah,
athletes, stuff like that.
yeah,
But it makes me reminisce on these different stories about, and they're not all good stories. It's not all about when I was, in the spotlight. No, I'm
right.
telling stories about when I was not starting here and when I was competing for this and
Yeah,
didn't get what I wanted and you know what I'm saying,
right,
all these
right.
different things.
Yes,
Uh
sir.
so being able to just get through all those things that we got through at the
Man, I'm
University of
telling
Iowa
you.
is just
I'm
different,
telling
man.
you.
Whether it
Trials and
was
tribulations.
yes. All right. Even just being able to okay, like the transfer portal and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah,
different. Like
it's
we
so
didn't go
different.
that route. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I saw you personally getting cussed out the first 2 years,
No,
especially when that other guy was there. All right. Like
you know it.
LeBron,
You know it.
get back to the like, whoa,
Bro, people don't even
here it is.
understand.
Like,
People don't understand what we had to go through, man. And that's why I'm so glad that I was able to create this platform. Just for us to kind of talk about it. Obviously, we're in our 30s, we're over it. It was what it was, man. But it's so important to get those stories out because I believe those stories are powerful. And coaches today have to understand that there's certain ways or techniques of coaching that work, and then there's some that stain kids or messes up their experience, right? And I really believe that some of the things that I can only vouch for myself, but some of the things that I went through at the University of Iowa stained my experience. Now, my teammates, the wins, the locker room, that's what saved it, right? Those experiences saved the
absolutely.
experience, but some of that verbal abuse and the personal things for me, I think there's no and you can attest to this because you coach a lot of kids as well. I just don't think there's no room in coaching for like personal disrespect, like you saying personal things about a kid, where they're from, about the inner city, whatever they have going on. I just always felt like there's no space in coaching for that. And I think it's just ironic that the guy that we're referring to, the coach we're referring to, he's out of coaching. Like he hasn't coached in the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. But yeah, I just think it's no room for that. And I can honestly say, and I've said it on a lot of my episodes, because I've had about 25 University of Iowa alumni in the catalog, and that stuff messes up guys' experience, and you don't forget about it.
Oh, you don't like. I don't forget about it, and I was just over here watching, like, damn. Oh,
Right,
okay. So
right,
I,
right,
you know what I'm saying? So I know guys don't forget about these different experiences when it's
right.
them personally. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying? And
exactly.
and everybody has these different experiences. But with
Hmm.
that said, man, like with that said, that being able to get through these different
Exactly.
experiences is
Just
only
makes you
it
tougher.
just builds you
Yeah,
differently. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying? Like
exactly.
and I that's how I view as far as business and
Hmm.
competitiveness now, as
Exactly,
far as shoot, I can get through whatever. I can compete
exactly.
with whatever. You know what I'm saying?
No
You know
matter
what I'm
what
saying?
happens, you can get through
I can
it.
get through it
Right.
versus the latter, versus being able to abort and get go do
Right.
something else. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying? Like, no,
exactly.
we're gonna figure
Never
this
quit,
out
never settle.
and
Yes,
exactly
sir.
and be able
Yes,
to
sir.
get through it, whatever it is at that
Exactly.
standpoint.
I couldn't agree more, man. So what is your take? Give me your reaction to the current state of the world right now. I know you have twins, you're a father,
Hmm.
and you have a family that you're taking care of. We got a new president. We are closing in on a calendar year of a coronavirus pandemic that we've never seen, never walked through.
Never.
Uh, Racial injustices are finally starting to come on the forefront, and people are
Hmm.
truly starting to see what it's like to be black. We've been black our entire life. Uh,
Exactly.
Over 60 former players came out discussing racial disparities at our alma mater, which was which took over the sports world for like a month. So
Hmm.
just give me your reaction to all those things in like a combination. I just felt like we had to take in so much last year. We're still taking in a lot. So just give me your reaction to all of that stuff, bro.
It's just been a lot.
Yeah,
It's almost just been to the point where it's too much, to
right.
where you have to where you want to stop seeing this stuff. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Whatever it is, you want to
right.
just kind of isolate yourself and be in your own,
I'm telling you,
quarantine
bro.
home,
I'm
or from
telling you,
that
bro.
standpoint, with all the
Yes,
craziness going on in the world. Uh,
yes,
but man, like all those different things, from the racial injustice to I mean, all the stories at the University of Iowa I woke up to one morning, everybody blowing up my phone. I'm like, yeah, all right. And
right.
it's just even crazy with that, like just the views. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, it was even biased questions like, hey, this didn't really happen, did it? Like, what? Why? How
right.
do you know? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? For these different things.
Exactly.
And for most of these things that were going on, like, I mean, I confirm as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, actually, I
Exactly.
was there in the weight room when this happened. Actually,
Exactly.
no, this happened out on after conditioning on
Exactly.
Thursday. Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
You
And
can vouch for
these
that stuff
different
because you
things.
were actually in those lifting sessions. You were actually there.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I was in a lot of those situations, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But with that said, it's just been crazy. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And trying to be able to trying to be able to still navigate with all that craziness going on is
Right.
the hard part. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
think that's the hard part for everybody,
Exactly.
more than anything.
Right. 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 I totally agree. Like you said, it became so much you couldn't really do anything but keep yourself isolated. I tried to just read as many books as I could and just
Hmm.
keep my mind in
Try to
a in
stay
a in a good
positive. Keep
space.
that
Yes.
positive energy. Exactly. Which
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
hard when it's negativity all around you. You
I'm
know what I'm
telling
saying?
you,
And
man.
you
I'm
can't get
telling
away
you,
from it from social media, whether it be
man.
from whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
I mean, luckily it's and hopefully it's further away from you and not, in your family circle, which it is for a lot of people right now. So
Exactly. Exactly.
it's just hard, man. You can just pray for everybody right now and
I know, and
try
just keep
to
pushing.
try to keep pushing. Exactly.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more, man. So, how have you, like I said earlier, man, we've never walked through a coronavirus pandemic. Since we've been alive on this planet, we've never had to wear masks. The world has never shut down on us, right? So, how have you had to grow emotionally, physically, spiritually, during these times, during these past, almost 12 months or almost calendar year, just as a companion, as a partner, and as a father as well. How have you found yourself having to grow in those compartmentalized aspects over the past almost year?
I had to be able to grow personally. I mean, as a family, just in all aspects.
Yeah.
I mean, from Kel starting to work from home and being home
Hmm.
24 hours to the twins. I mean, traveling with me more to the gym and just doing these different things.
Yeah.
To us all being, around each other all day, all the time. You know
All
what
the
I'm
time. Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
exactly. So, I mean, luckily I have a loving family and I love them a lot. And shoot, these girls don't stress me as much because I really do enjoy being a dang dad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a joke for me. I love it. I'm trying to teach them all this different stuff and
Yeah.
seeing their facial expressions be my facial expressions. It's just
Right.
different, man.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
stuff really does give me joy.
Yeah.
So for me personally, just being able to grow as a family,
Hmm.
be able to transition with my business a little bit more
Yeah.
during this trialing time.
Yes.
It's been tough, but it's something that I'm all for. We got to be able to
Yeah.
accept it and transition and be able to keep pushing, like you said.
Yeah, man, absolutely, and I appreciate that the honest candor. And I could definitely just tell just from your faces and like you said, the girls bring you joy. And I'm a twin myself, man, so I know that just the twin vibes in general, bro. It's something different. It's something special about that.
Different.
It's yeah,
It's
it's
dope.
different.
I
Absolutely,
love
man.
it.
So yeah, yeah, man. So let's dive into your childhood. I know I was listening to another podcast and I heard that you were born in California, raised in California, and then you moved to
Bay
Iowa.
Area.
Bay Area, and then you moved to
Yeah.
Iowa in sixth grade. So just paint me a picture on what it was like growing up in California in the '90s. This always makes me feel old when I say this statement, but we didn't grow up like the kids now. We didn't have YouTube, we didn't have
Not at all.
internet, we didn't have cameras, we didn't have video. We really had to be outside and interact with each other. So just paint me a picture on what it was like growing up in California until the age of 10 or 11, and then matriculating to the state of Iowa, which I know is like completely different from California.
Culture change.
Yeah,
Okay.
so paint me a picture.
Um, Actually, it was a little later than that. It wasn't sixth grade. I played all of
Oh
my
yeah, it was
middle
ninth
school
grade.
football. Yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Living in Vallejo, California, man, growing up playing for the Vallejo Raiders, made me a Raiders fan when I was a young kid. All right, just
Okay.
because my uniforms were same color,
Oh,
same
okay. Same
helmets,
color.
all
Okay, I
right,
got
everything. So, I mean, that's what really made me, man. As far as being in that tough environment, being
you.
able
Yeah.
to learn how to handle adversity early. I mean, for us, whether it was financial, whether it was we got to move, whether it was just these different things that my mom always had to handle for us, for our family, because being a single mom and just different things. So that adversity was nothing new for me early, man. And as far as football, starting football, that was something I started with my cousins. I have 2 other cousins on the team. I start my first year, and that stuff is like, these are the type of stories I get to tell my kids that are like 9 years old, 10 years old playing football. And I'm like, and they're like still nervous and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, my first year playing football, I was just fast. I was catching sweep left, sweep right, taking it for 80. All right. But when it came to like contact and stuff, I would like run fast and curl up and slow down, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Take the hit, all these different things. Until I remember it very vividly, man. After my first season, Devon Bernstine, all right, he takes us in the backyard. This is my pops. He takes us in the backyard with my cousins. And the other 2 know how to hit. Yeah. My cousins know how to hit. They're physical, D-line, linebacker, all right? I'm just I'm the newbie. I'm a little soft, you know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like, okay, 2 cones right there. You lay down over there, I lay down over here. Like, pop up, run between the cones, Jordan.
Oh, you know it.
I'm getting hit. Boom. I'm taking hits all day. I remember it, man. And this is how those switches flip for these athletes this quick. I remember getting angry. I'm crying, tearing up. I remember laying down, popping up, running full speed through my cousin. Boom. All right, keep going. I'm like, wait, that didn't hurt at all. Like, what? So it doesn't hurt if I just run fast through you? Okay, well, let's just do that every time. All right. And like, from there, that's how I became a hitter, essentially. And started liking contact when I didn't like contact, like just these different things. So those experiences are what really made me, as far as in Vallejo doing Pop Warner football. I mean, whether it be bull in the ring, whether it be grinders, just it's basically the stuff that the kids can't do anymore.
Yeah.
All the stuff
that's against the rules now.
That's the stuff that really helped me, man. But as far as outside of that, it was just playing, being able to do stuff. And that's whether it's, hey, knocking on all the neighbors' door, getting all the kids come out, and we're playing, 5-on-5 football in the street, learning how to shake, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to catch, run routes. Whether we're playing, we just got gloves and a few of us. Okay, we're playing rundown, we're playing pickle. All right, we got the soccer ball today. We playing kickball. We're playing.
I'm telling you, we gonna find a way to make a game with whatever we got.
Something. All right, and that's where it's different for these kids now, with so many games and just other things that they can do. So it's like, hey, go outside. And they're like, why? What? You know what I'm saying?
In our day, it was like you had to go outside. You couldn't ask why. You had to go outside and find something to do.
You have to. So being able to do that really helped as well, man. Being able to play outside and learn all of these things athletically, which I get to teach these youth athletes now, because they don't go outside. So they're not jumping off the swings and landing and stuff like that. So, all right, I got boxes. Now you can jump off of the box and I can teach you these different things. Like, because it's a necessity for that now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But going back to that original question, man, like once I got through middle school football and was making all this noise, getting ready to following my cousin's footsteps, cousin Dallas Bernstine, all right, dude, the standard we be talking about, like that was my standard, all right, my family, like my cousin still holds the rushing record in the state of California, 555 yards in a game, okay, I'm pretty sure that still stands. He set that in 02, all right, so
that's crazy.
His senior year, when I was in 7th grade, I'm watching him rush for 300, 400, 250s. And I'm over here like,
crazy.
Okay, well, I got to do that. I got to rush for more. How many did he score? 3? All right, I got to try to score 4. Like talking about raising that standard and
raising the bar. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
So that's why my standards have always been so high on myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is really just my family, man. I'm competing with records that were said no to that are still there. All right. My
That's
uncle
amazing.
Rod was setting records in Texas before that, like who
Yeah.
played for the Broncos and the Chargers, like
Yeah.
just these different things. Like, so from the 7th grade, I was like, man, I'm gonna
I'm gonna put on
break
for the
all
family
this stuff.
too. Yeah.
I'm gonna break
Yeah.
all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was kind of my goal. So
Definitely.
right there in 8th grade, I'm about to go follow in Dallas' footsteps at either this school or this school. And then my
Yeah.
family's like, hey, we're moving to Iowa. I'm like, what? Why are we
Were
moving
you
to Idaho? Why are we moving to Ohio?
like where's Iowa at?
What?
Is that a state?
What is Iowa? Why Idaho? Like, I just remember everybody around us when we were saying we were moving to Iowa saying
Yeah.
Idaho or Ohio. Like, why are y'all moving there? Like, dude. So
Right. I know that was different. I know you said you had some family in Iowa, right? That's why you all moved there.
yes. My
Yeah.
family was out there in Iowa. It ended up just being a slow family migration. Like, my great grandma was out there, then my
Okay.
grandma wanted to be out there with her mom, then my mom
Yeah.
wanted to be with her mom. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
everybody ended up out in Iowa, and it ended up
Yeah.
working out. But I remember when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
first got to Iowa, it was just
I
different, man.
know it was different. Yeah, especially you growing up in California and not really having to ever deal with snow. You go to Iowa where it's super cold, like 10 months, like 9 months out of the year. I know that was different for you. So once you got there and got into high school, talk about like, and we all know when that switch kind of hits. For me, it was like 10th grade. It was 10th grade when I
Hmm.
had that growth spurt. I got stronger. My body started to
Yeah,
look different. I started really kind of dominating on the field, dominating on the basketball court too.
weight
And I started,
room.
yeah, weight room, started to get a bunch of
Finally start
letters.
throwing around.
Yeah. So just talk about that transition for you because a lot of people don't know, but I believe we've met at the 2006 Nike camp at Columbus at Ohio State.
Ooh, I got the
And
MVP at that. I crushed that
yes,
one.
yes, that's when I first heard about you, and they told me you was from Des Moines, Iowa, and at that point Iowa was recruiting me. But that's when I first heard about you, and just seeing your numbers and seeing how freak of an athlete you were at. I think we were 17 at the time, but I remember when the Elite 11 list came out, like we both made it. You were number one, I was like number seven, because I like just demolished every offensive lineman in the one-on-ones. Like nobody could block me. So I remember seeing you there and just like once I committed to Iowa, just being super, super excited to be in the same class and things like that. I was super tapped into our whole class
Recruiting stuff.
nationally and
Yeah,
state recruiting. I was just tapped in because I was a
me
really big
too.
competitor. So just talk about that transition for you. Talk about when you started to come to your own and you started to notice that you were a little different and things kind of started to make
Yeah.
sense. The letters and the
Yeah.
offers and all that.
That was later, man. That process that I'm always talking about, that
Yeah,
people always trying to skip. You
yeah,
cannot skip that, man. Like,
exactly.
people, like, I say this all the time to our athletes because nobody really knows this because I graduated high school at 205, right? I'm
Yeah,
205, running a 4.3. But anyway, rewind. I started high school. I just moved to Iowa from Cali. They don't know who I am. They don't know my cousin setting records up here. They don't know I was, you know what I'm saying, doing all
right,
this in 7th and 8th grade and scoring
right.
5 touchdowns. So I get to Iowa. I'm 5'5", 125 pounds, guys. Short, scrawny, zero muscles. Never lifted a
Yeah,
weight. I told you, I was outside. I was
yeah,
outside playing.
right.
Just natural strength, that type of thing. But
Yeah.
I get there, and I remember meeting my coach and team for the first time. Like, my cousin in Iowa was going to Des Moines Lincoln at the time. He was a junior on the
Mhm,
team my freshman year.
mhm.
So I remember meeting the coach, and I'm like, hey, I play running back. So, and they're like, okay, well, we have our running backs. We have Sean O'Connor over here and Diaz over here. I'm like, okay, I play running back too. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right, right.
uh, but I just remember that initially I wasn't getting a bunch of carries and stuff like that. This is over the summer. You know what I'm saying? That type
Mhm,
of thing.
mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
uh, then we play our first like jamboree or first game or something like that. And I remember scoring like I scored 4 times on 5 carries. You know
Going
what I'm
off.
saying? As far as opening some eyes for the coaching staff, like, hey, I play running back, guys.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm
Hey, I'm
saying?
nice.
Like,
I'm nice.
so from that point, then I started being able to get more opportunities and making a lot of plays, and we went undefeated freshman year, all this stuff. But
Nice, nice.
that process, I was still scrawny, just starting to lift weights. I remember
Yeah,
getting in the
yeah.
weight room. They're like, "Hey, go squat." I put the bar on my neck, and I can't even squat a 25. I can't do 95 pounds on the
Yeah,
squat,
yeah.
guys.
Because you had never
Like,
done it.
never done it. The bar's on my spine, like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of gaps back,
Right,
like all
right,
these different things. So I remember it just hurting. I can't squat a 25 on each side. I'm discouraged a little bit, you
right,
know what I'm saying? Because
right.
I'm seeing guys start to squat. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm,
They're starting to
hmm,
put on
hmm.
some weight.
Right,
Next thing I know, I learned to do things the right way, and then I'm like, oh, my legs are strong. It was just hurting my neck. All right, add some weight, add some
right,
weight. And
right.
then it gets to that sophomore year. Now I'm starting to actually start to like lifting weights. Now I'm
Yeah,
starting to see
yeah.
that change in my body. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Get a few
right,
muscles here and there.
right.
So now I'm just trying to lift more weights. I'm trying to pick up
Yeah,
more weight. I'm trying to learn to
yeah. Now
push
you
more
now
weight.
you're immersed in it. You're immersed in it now.
Exactly. And that's how I
Yeah,
became, and I accepted that weight room mentality differently as well, man. So I
yeah.
was always just trying to lift more, trying to do more, trying to outwork
Mhm.
other people. Uh,
Exactly.
so then that sophomore year, I got hurt. I got hurt and was a decoy.
Hmm.
I was high ankle sprain midway through the year. I can't cut the end of the season. Like,
Yeah.
so that doesn't go the way that is planned, right? My first year on
Hmm.
varsity. Uh, but I still help out. We end up having our first winning season in a long time. Like, that process, we've never taken the easy way, Brian. I didn't go
Never.
to state championship school when I moved to Iowa. I went to Des
Right.
Moines Lincoln. We had the longest losing streak in the state of Iowa when I got there. All right. All
Yeah,
right. When my
yeah.
coach got there, that kind of thing. Like,
I got
just
you.
different things. And then we turned that program around, had a winning season sophomore year. My
Yeah.
junior year, that's when I started coming into my own a little bit. That was around the
Okay.
time you met me, you know, or you
Yeah.
saw me at
Yeah.
that camp or combine you were talking about.
Yeah.
At that point, that was when I'm like, dude, I'm starting to read these magazines and
Hmm,
Smith
hmm.
and these different ones. Like, wait, this guy's he's a first round NFL draft pick and he runs a 4.6. Okay. Okay. This dude's the number one safety in college football, and you know what I'm saying? And he's only 180. Okay. This
Right,
dude.
right.
So that
So
was
you
when I
started
started
seeing
being
that you
able
was
to
different. You started seeing you
exactly. So
different.
that was when
Yeah.
I started being able to put these things into perspective a little bit more and
Right.
understanding like, dude, I'm more athletic than these guys. I'm more athletic than
Exactly.
these guys right now. Like, I just got to start to understand different things. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
understand the game more. Uh,
Exactly.
so that junior year was fun, and that was around the time I started doing the combine. So I only went
Yeah.
to a few. You know what I'm saying? And that Nike combine was a coming out party for me in a sense.
Yes.
That one that
Yes.
you were talking about. I went there. I remember it was like Hayden Brothers there. It's Golden Tate there. It's like all
Man.
these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. The
Greg
best players. Yeah.
Nichols there. It's
Yeah.
like all these guys from our class. And
Yeah.
like you said, you're a competitor. I'm a competitor. I had a hit list going into that camp. All right. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
who's there? Which receivers? Okay. Let's find out. All right. Like, simple as that. Like, which
Yeah.
because this is before they knew who I was. I was
Exactly.
nobody going
Exactly.
into that camp, really. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I went to that camp and ran a 4.3, jumped
I remember.
41 or something, like
I
locking down
remember.
all the receivers. I'm down there in the trenches with the
Put on a
linebacker.
show. Put on a show.
Oh,
I remember. Yes.
man, got the MVP of that. I remember Coach Tressel pulling me in the office right after, like, hey, come here. Come here. Let
Yes.
me holler at you. All right. But
Yeah.
and talking to them, and I remember it very vividly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
It
like,
it
well,
feel like it feel like yesterday, man. But I solely remember, like you said, man, you taking over the camp. I was a rush linebacker, so I remember killing the one-on-ones, and I made the elite 11 list. But like you say,
mhm.
man, you were the top. Walking out of there, like everybody was talking about you. You were the top.
Yeah, I
Even
told
on
you that was
on our
around.
on our on our drive back from Columbus to Cleveland, that's what everybody was talking about. Man, did y'all see that dude, Bernstine?
Yeah,
He looked like
that
he
was
looked
around
like
the
an
time my
NFL
muscles
safety
started coming
already.
in. All right, I had my little muscle shirt on,
Right.
little arms out. All right,
We
but
all like, man, bro, this dude looked like an NFL safety. Like they may have to check his birth certificate.
yeah, and that was around that time, man. And
Yeah, yeah.
from there, it really started to take off
Get all the
more.
offers, recruiting.
Get offers started coming from everywhere, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. But shoot, my first offer didn't come until it was still after that. So it would have been, or that would have been
That
the
summer
summer before my senior
before.
year is when I got my
Yeah.
first offer. Yes,
Summer
I finished with a
2006.
bunch of offer. I
Yeah.
finished with a bunch of offers, but my first offer didn't come until the summer before my senior year of high school. I
I
have
got you.
kids that are like freshmen and sophomores in high school, and their parents are asking like, "All right, well, why doesn't so and so have an offer yet?" Like, you can't skip this process. That's why.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
You're
and
exactly.
and then I start to feel disrespected to a point when I have like freshman kids like, "Oh, I don't have an offer yet," and I'm like, I didn't have an
Right. You
offer until my senior year. Like,
exactly.
did you see the stuff I did my junior year? Have you watched this tape? Like, and
Exactly.
I didn't have no offers. So the fact that you guys are expecting these things,
I'm
man, like
telling you,
the
it's different now.
expectations are different. No, you just got to
Yes.
put in the work, and you just keep putting in the work, then that's what comes from it. You reap those
Exactly.
results. You know what I'm saying? You reap the
Exactly.
benefits. But
Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
when you're working like you're expecting this goal is what stresses me out. Like,
Right.
no, you
Right.
just keep putting in the work. You just
Keep putting in the work.
work, put your head down
Exactly.
until eventually you're
Things
where
will
you
come.
need to be. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? And
Exactly.
that's just the mentality that I've always had coming from that
Exactly.
adversity in Vallejo. You know what I'm saying? Vallejo,
Exactly.
California. Simple as that, with the
Exactly.
family. And that's what
Always grinding.
built me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That same grind.
Exactly.
I remember my first offer actually came from the University of Nebraska.
Okay. Okay.
Great. This was that summer. We're in lifting. I told you, I'm trying to outlift everybody.
Exactly.
We're maxing out, trying to get to the 1,000-pound club and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I already did squat and bench and all this. I remember I'm finishing with my hang clean. You know
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I
we
remember.
hang cleaned.
I
Boom!
remember.
I hang clean 275 to get 1,000
In
pounds
high school.
exactly, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Boom! Drop it. Everybody fired up, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
Coach Mihalovich walking in. He's like, and that's why he just received his first damn offer from the University of Nebraska. Like all this stuff, but
Oh wow.
it was a moment, man. It was just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. That sounds like a moment.
Like everybody already fired up, just finished cleaning, throwing the
Yeah.
weight, and then coach
Yeah.
walks in like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
That's
fun
dope.
experiences, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And these type of things are different. And
Yeah.
from there, recruiting really took off, and took all these visits and offers and all that fun stuff. But
Yeah.
it's that process, man. That
The
process is what
process.
got me
Yes.
to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. And I love that you brought that process up because, like you said, expectations are different now. Kids see other kids do so much comparing, and they see one
So
person or
much.
two people get an offer in 9th and 10th grade and think that their journey or their pathway is supposed
No,
to be that way. And for
no.
most kids, it's not. Like you said, even being a top tier athlete, even for me, being a top tier athlete in the state of Ohio, like you said, I didn't get my first offer until my junior year.
Exactly.
So that freshman and sophomore year, just putting in the work. Junior season, just putting in the work, and then obviously we were getting a lot of letters, but offers didn't come till after that junior season. So people have to understand that. For anybody listening and watching, you got to just put in the work and
You
don't.
can't skip it.
Your story is your story. You can't compare yourself. You can't compare your story to someone else. You can
No.
compare numbers and compete versus that person, but you can't compare, like, because everyone has a different journey. So I'm glad
Yeah,
that you touched
absolutely.
on that.
But it goes back to, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. You know what I'm saying? I went from that
Exactly.
125 and just put my head down for 3 years and just worked my
Exactly.
butt off. I ain't getting no letters, no nothing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just working. And then next thing
Exactly.
you know, that preparation meets opportunity. Next thing you
Right.
know, I
Right.
get the invite to this combine. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be there. I know I've been
Exactly.
working. I'm ready for this. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And that's
Exactly.
where that
And
competitiveness
you
comes
walked
out,
right into it.
and you
Yeah.
walk into it and you execute. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Versus feeling like I'm not going to put in as much work right now because it's not feeling like it should. I'm not getting
Right.
what I need to get. And then when that
Exactly.
opportunity comes, you're
You're
not
not ready
ready.
for it.
Then you don't
Exactly.
feel like you're ready. No,
Exactly.
just work. You know what I'm
Exactly. You
saying?
know
And that's where it gets
it.
different.
Definitely, man.
That's where
Definitely.
it gets
So
different.
paint me a picture on what went into your decision to attend the University of Iowa. I know you said that you took all 5 of your visits. I believe I only took 2. I should have took all 5. I only visited Iowa and Wisconsin. But I had some other visits scheduled. I think I was supposed to visit Michigan State and Illinois in like January, but I committed to Iowa on January 1st. So just talk about what went into your decision to, stay in Iowa and attend the University of Iowa.
Were you there that weekend that we all took our official visit?
I took my official visit sometime in December. I don't, what weekend did you take your visit in December too?
Yeah, it was the weekend that Marv and basically our whole class was there.
I may have been okay. I may have been.
You might have been a week before or next week.
Yeah,
I
a week
got
before
you.
after. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a very fun visit there. But before that, man, being able to weigh the options. I initially thought I was going back to Cali. Like when I moved to Iowa, I was not in love with the state of Iowa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being from Cali, and I'm like going back to
back to Cali.
So as soon as I can, I'm going to SC. I'm going to UCLA.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my 4 years in Iowa, and I'm going back to the West Coast.
That's what I always grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, around that time, that was when I was doing a lot of research and reading and stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? So whether it be from recruiting, whether it be from college defenses, whether it be from understanding where guys are getting drafted from, things like that. And with that said, Iowa's reputation and with the defense was just crazy. And I was loving it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Watching, I started watching some of those Bob Sanders and all this stuff. I was seeing some of that on TV being in Iowa. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, okay, I do like this. You know what I'm saying? Then once I got on campus and started to be able to bond with the guys that ended up being in the class, I mean, it just felt like home. Felt like home, and my family could come to the games. That was ended up being the biggest factor in my decision was my mom and family being able to come to the games because they've been to every game. You know what I'm saying? From forever, and traveling and the funds to travel were not there the way it is for some of these athletes, which they don't understand how blessed they are, man. Whether it be parents traveling state to state for 7-on-7 or just for this coaching camp, and that is a blessing, man. And these athletes don't understand how much of a blessing that is, in my opinion, man. Like I remember those visits we're talking about. I had coaches and family friends taking me to some of these places. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. It just really took a village to be able to help. My mom wasn't able to do everything by herself. But luckily I was in a situation where I had coaches that really loved me and had my best interest in mind as well. Shout out Coach Mihalovich. Love that man.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
He texted me yesterday. Like, I love that guy. Like,
still got those relationships.
Yes, man, those relationships, and it really helps. So that's what really played a part and helped out with me being able to take all 5 official visits, because I went to Pitt, I went to where else did we go? UCLA for the USC game where they knocked them out of the national championship late in the season.
Oh man, I remember that game. You went to that game.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
I almost committed on the spot. I had to chill out.
Back in Cali.
That was fun though. Texas A&M, seeing that environment. I told you my uncle went to Texas A&M and was one of their backs and stuff like that, and got drafted from there. So we had a family connection with the Aggies as well. But man, just fun being able to experience all those things. And I was not in a rush because nobody else was in a rush to offer me. Like, y'all ain't in a rush? Well, I'm not going to be in a rush. Simple as that.
That's facts. Absolutely.
I've worked to get these opportunities. So we're going to weigh these options and
we're
going to go from there. You know what I'm saying? So we took all 5 and ended up committing to Iowa and ended up working out. But man, it's that process.
that process, man, and you had an extensive one, so I'm glad you were able to get those details. So talk about the transition. I think a lot of people just, I don't know, from the outside looking in, maybe they think that transition is easy, going from a high school student to a college student, going from somewhat easy of a schedule to a rigorous, like I always call it a full-time and an
Man,
overtime job, going to that grind, like you said, up at 5:30, you got weightlifting, then you got class for 5 hours, then you may have a tutoring session, then you got to get some learning
yeah,
center hours in, then you got to get some treatment, then you got special teams meetings, then you got persistent meetings, then you got practice, then you got training table, then you got to
and
do
no
your
quit.
homework, then you got to do your homework. Before you know it, it's 11:30 at night, and you got to do the same thing the next day for 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
People
Yeah.
really just don't understand that grind.
Yeah.
So talk about that transition, because us walking in, and I'll argue this with anybody, that 2007 class, bro, we were stacked. But
Stacked.
out of everybody, in my true heart, bro, I really thought that you were gonna do three and out. Like, I'm like, this dude actually
You
is
and me
coming to
both.
Iowa.
Okay.
I'm like,
You and
I'm
me
like,
both. Okay.
but then I did the research and I saw that nobody had did three and out at Iowa.
No,
Nobody had did three and out. But I was like, man, Jordan,
bro.
he gonna be the first dude. He gonna break
You.
the mold, because this dude is
I
a freak.
told you. I
Yeah,
can't. I can't. Like I was already running a 4.3, jumping foot like this, doing like. So
exactly.
my goal was to come in, make. All right. This okay. It does not go the way you planned it, guys. All right.
Yeah,
My goal is to come
yeah.
in. Okay. I might play some special teams and stuff. Freshman year, whatever. Sophomore year. Oh, I'm starting at safety. Okay, we're gonna
Right,
start at safety. Bang bang. Sophomore year, get our bumps and bruises out.
right,
Junior
right.
year.
Go
Oh,
off
we're
junior
gonna
year.
ball out. We're gonna do this, do that. Okay, until we get to campus, that first summer workout, and Coach Parker goes, "Hey, go over there with the corners. Go do what
Move you the
Godfrey does."
corner. Did he ever give you a detailed explanation
No,
as to why
I
he moved you the corner? I
no,
never understood,
I've
bro. If
still have not gotten this. I've still
bro, if
never
you
gotten
really
this
know
answer from
football,
Coach Parker.
I'm
All
sorry to
right,
cut you off, but if you really know football as we do, we used to always talk about that. Like, why would they move Bernie to corner? Like,
I
he's a
don't know.
freak at safety. And then
I
but then
was
when you moved back to safety and you had the good senior year you had, everybody was acting surprised. Like, man, who is this dude hitting everybody 16 tackles? Like, that's what he came in as.
that's what I came here to do. Okay. Until they
Exactly.
moved me to corner. And now I'm just looking at the fields from over here sideways and
That's
can't
wild that he
really,
never explained to you why he moved you to corner. Why not keep you at safety? That's crazy.
I never, and it's just crazy to me still because that conversation was never had. Like I had other coaches recruiting me for, other positions so I had some schools telling me like, all right, you come here, you'll play corner. You come here, you'll play running back, blah, blah. Like
Yeah,
anybody
yeah,
said
yeah.
corner, I'm like, nope. All right, don't worry about hitting me no more.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly,
uh,
exactly.
so
I'm a safety.
that was never mentioned from Iowa
Yeah,
until I get on campus, and it was never mentioned when I got on campus. Like, hey, we're gonna try you out at corner and see. No, it was like we get out to work. I was like, hey, go over there. I'm
that's
like,
crazy. That's
okay.
crazy.
And
Yeah,
I
and
was
I
seriously.
remember you taking it with a good attitude and just trying to learn the position.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, to be honest,
Right, 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 right.
when I first moved there, I, I was out of position.
Exactly.
But I had Godfrey there. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
CG, he was the man. So he
right.
was somebody who I really looked up to at the time, being an older guy, and I was
Well,
trying to do what CG was doing.
yeah,
You
he
know what
was a
I'm
dog.
saying? And
Yeah,
so from there, I kind of went through a phase where I'm like, okay, if I just suck at corner and show him that I'm out of position, he'll move me back. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Right,
Whatever. It makes sense, right?
right,
No.
right.
I just remember later in that year, I'm kind of giving up some deep balls and just different things. And I remember him pulling me in the office and saying, hey, Bernstine, I'm not moving you back to safety right now. So because you're starting at corner next year when Godfrey leaves. So you might as well start to like the position. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay. So that was when I really locked in, started watching my prime time, started watching my Darrell Revis film,
yeah,
really locking
yeah.
in about the
Really
learning
locking
the
in.
position.
Yeah.
So I can be starting there sophomore year. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Whatever.
right, right.
Uh, doesn't go the way you planned it, guys. It's always bumps
Never
in the
does.
road. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
So I just remember I'm starting at left corner that whole off season. Once CG leaves, I'm left corner, whatever. I'm making some plays all spring, all this, all summer.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Amari came back. Me and Amari competing. We're having fun competing all summer, back and forth.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? We racing, we doing it, like we just competing. You know what I'm saying? But I still had the upper hand from that standpoint initially. I remember I pulled my hamstring during camp our sophomore year and had to, or a week before the first game, had to miss the first 2 games. I had to miss a couple weeks.
Yeah, but that was 2009 season. That was 2009 season, right? Yeah.
Mari got in and
balled out.
2 picks. The first game, I think, and 1 pick. The second game, I think he had 3 picks when I came back. I didn't come back to a spot, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, if Amari's over here, I guess I'll just go over here to right corner and go opposite of him. Whatever.
Right.
Me and Fletch is over there. Fletch is about to leave. Go
handle it. Shout out to Fletch. Fletch was a dog too.
Exactly. So now I'm at right corner. Me and Amari gonna start. I'm at right corner all year, making plays. I'm feeling good. Right corner. Me and Prater competing for the spot, but he's a young punk. He's just energetic. All right?
right.
Shout out to my boy Prater.
Oh yeah. Shout out to SP.
Side note, I remember when they got on campus and we were doing conditioning, running 55s, and him and Shane were just racing. All right?
Oh my God.
The guys getting mad, but he just had energy all day.
They had the wheels.
Competing with Prater over here. So it's me and Amari at corners, feeling good, starting. Break my ankle that year. All right. That was our Orange Bowl year.
That was during camp. Right? I remember that.
My ankle. Prater steps in. He does.
Wasn't that on that was like special teams or you like punt coverage or something like that, right?
Special teams, last play of practice. All right. Running down. I'm on the left gunner, getting to the returner. Chaney. P Chain starts stepping up. The punch shorter.
Yeah.
So I go to like stop so I don't run it. So he doesn't run into me. Foot like plants in the ground weird, break my ankle. My foot's facing backwards. All right. They rushed me over to the hospital.
I remember that.
Have surgery ASAP.
Yeah.
Missed that whole year. All right.
Yeah.
Broken ankle.
That's
we go to the Orange Bowl. One of the best
was a wild
defenses.
Year.
Dude,
yes.
I would have been chilling in cover 2, getting some of these picks.
You, man. That 2009 season.
7.
That time at Iowa City, bro, and just that experience, that whole season, being a part of it, playing it, bro, it's just crazy. Man. That I can't even put that experience into words.
One of the most memorable seasons I've been a part of, and I wasn't able to really be a part of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
did that do anything to you mentally? Like because I remember you like doing your rehab, but still actively being in meeting rooms and still having a good camaraderie with the guys in the locker room. But did that bother you at all mentally that you had to rehab, that you couldn't be out there playing?
Nah, man. I've always had a weird relationship with injuries and rehab, man. Like anytime I've gotten injured, I've always like locked in on the process, put those blinders on, like, okay, I got to get this done before I can get to my goal of where I'm trying to get. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to come back stronger, faster, from this every time.
Just locking in on the process.
So, and that's exactly what I did. Came back from that injury. All right, we won the bowl game. But I remember that year, that off season was when I started breaking all the records. That was when I did broke the vert record.
Didn't you jump like 44 or something like ridiculous?
44.8. It's still on the board. I checked last time I was there, bro.
I remember that, bro. Just like, man, like 44, this dude really just jumped his high.
Vert. All right. So that's still on the board. That was when I think I broke the 10-yard dash record. I came back. I broke the hang clean record because I was stronger because I was just doing upper body because of the ankle.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And just
you had a bunch of DB records. I remember that. You had a bunch of DB records, like all simultaneously in like a 2-week span when we did PR, when we did maxes and reps on everything. You just
crushed
the records.
Like, hey, I'm back. I'm back.
I remember that.
Yeah, man, being able to come back stronger from that was the goal. But then I came back stronger, but I didn't come back to a spot. I came back to
2010.
Sean Prater over here. I got Greeny and Sash both back here, who was a
Of
3-year
course.
starter, 4-year starter, our boys.
Yep.
Oh, Amari's leaving. Cool. Yeah, right. Micah Hyde was a
Got
sophomore
Micah
that next
Hyde.
year.
Still in the league, Pro Bowl safety, going
Pro
crazy.
Bowl, my boy. I remember that boy getting on campus. But
Yeah.
I mean, we really didn't know what Micah was gonna do as well. Like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go compete with you if we're gonna compete, Drizzy. But
Exactly.
I mean, some of the stuff that we saw him do his freshman year, even I saw him doing some one-handed behind the back picks and crazy ball skills and just things of that sort. You know
The
what I'm
stuff,
saying?
the stuff Micah did on the field, he was different. He was only like 18, 19, but
Exactly.
yeah, like you say, his just natural football ability. You could tell that he just had it. Like you can see
And
that.
Parker knew that as well, which is, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. So I was the odd man out that year, dude. We had Mike over here, Prater over here, and our boys back there at safety. I remember I'm just playing nickel and dime and all this stuff. And and it was just ridiculous, man. It was and it's just not what I came here to do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah.
And so how did you approach your senior year? Because I was in a similar situation like you. I knew that if I knew that if I had transferred with, like, say when Desmond transferred, I knew that if I had transferred when Desmond transferred, I could have started at any other university. I knew that already. But something
now
about
we're getting older.
Exactly. We're getting older, and I wanted to stay at Iowa, and I knew that being behind a first round pick like Adrian Claiborne, I knew that I would only have 1 year to just do my thing, and I was cool with that because I learned a lot from AC. And like you said, we was the best defense in 2009. We was ranked as the best defensive line in 2009. So how did you approach that 2011 season? And then you still had turbulence. I remember them trying to put College Sleeper in front of you. No disrespect to College Sleeper, but like you still experienced turbulence, bro. Like, how did you approach that season?
Turbulence, dude. We ain't there yet. I remember that spring. I got rhabdo. All right. And was in the hospital for a week. No, we ain't got to go all the way down that story.
I remember that.
Got rhabdo. Was in the hospital right before spring ball.
Y'all got it the worst. Did you gain like 20 pounds? You gained like 20 pounds.
I gained 45 pounds.
I forgot about that.
Fluid. All right.
I forgot about that.
Me, I'd have popped. But that was that same time period. That was that spring, right before spring ball. We started spring ball, and I'm still like detoxing, losing weight, like just different things while I'm grinding. That spring ball. But again, that sense of urgency was different going into my senior year because it was that same thing. Like, okay, well, you ain't got time to transfer. You ain't got no red shirt no more.
It's over with now.
So what are you going to do? How are you going to respond? You know what I'm saying? And that's where, dude, I remember that whole year from spring ball, all summer, everything. I was playing on a different level and intensity than guys. We going through walkthrough. I'm hitting guys in the mouth. Boom! Like, watch out.
I remember.
Hey, chill, Bernie. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time to chill. Like, straight up. You know what I'm saying? So that sense of urgency was just different. My last year, that going into my senior season, that whole off season, that whole camp. All right. And like you said, that turbulence. Okay. I was still at corner. I remember Sash left. Once he left, I go in Parker's office. I'm like, hey, Coach Parker, I'm moving back to safety. I'll see you at practice. All right. Like that was kind of how that convo went. I'm 23 at this point, 22, whatever. Like, he's like, okay, well, you know the defense now. You're one of the older guys. Blah, blah. Yeah. All right. See you at practice. Like, and that turbulence, it still wasn't perfect. He didn't let me just switch to safety. He said, if you're gonna switch to safety, you still got to get all of your corner reps, and then you can double at safety. I didn't care. All right. I was going through some of these series going 15 play drives. Like, that's what got me prepared for the season because I'm taking 4 at corner. All right. 4 at safety. Oh, I got to go 4 at corner. Like, it didn't matter. I was going with the 1s, the 2s, the 3s. It didn't matter. I was just going out there to make plays and hit people later in the season, man, with that sense of urgency. I remember the coaches, I still wasn't starting. Sleeper was competing with me. And like, all right, and coach just liked him.
I remember you and Sleeper like splitting the 1 reps. Splitting the one reps.
We split the reps my senior year, game 1 and 2.
I remember that, bro. And we all was just like, we all turning around like, man, really? Like, really? Like, really?
Like,
all this stuff this man have been through. Everybody know he one of the best players on the field. Y'all really doing this?
I had the other coaches. I remember Coach Wilson pulling me to the side because it got to a point where it was like I was just standing out differently on film. Like exactly. I was flying around. I'm around the ball, but I'm still not starting. Like I'm still splitting reps. I remember the other coaches like walking me out to the field. Like, I mean, I don't know why you're not starting yet. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I got to tell you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Whatever. Like, they don't even have an answer. I'm like, hey,
don't even have an answer.
I mean, just keep doing what you're doing.
I never, bro. I turned 32. I turned 32 this year, bro. Like, and I still don't understand. It almost felt like they didn't want to see you succeed, or like they knew what you could do, but it was the weirdest thing because me and Mike, we just talk about this all the time. You could tell that College Sleeper, no disrespect, but you could tell that College Sleeper did not like football. You could tell he wasn't even. He didn't really care about starting. He didn't care about it. You can tell he didn't have that.
No disrespect, but I remember we were hotel roommates that before, and this dude was just like nervous and just different things because he hasn't been in that situation. And that's not to say he's scared. That's to say that he just he wasn't prepared for that situation yet, and he was still a younger guy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I was a veteran at this time. I've been in these in-game situations. I've been playing since my freshman year. Dude, I remember my freshman year getting put in the fire against Purdue, against Keller, who used to play for the Jets or whatever. And that was my task all day.
I remember he was a dog.
I've been in this fire. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where it was just different. I mean, I remember even going out there and it was the same thing in the game. Like, I'm flying around making all these tackles and all this stuff, and you still got me splitting reps, splitting time. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And
I still remember that, man.
So it had to really be earned.
Really, like overly earned. I overstand that. Like it's crazy. So let me go back a little bit because I completely forgot about that the rhabdo thing. But I remember my roommate Willie Lowe catching it really bad as well. You all were in the hospital for the same amount of time, and I remember that rhabdo changed Will. Like Will like left the team after that. Like he didn't even have the love for the game anymore after that experience, being in the hospital for 2 weeks, a gain in 30 pounds. I remember his mom, his family flying out there, everybody panicking because they don't know what's happening. They just know we both went to a workout. Well, actually, he went to the workout. He went to the 6 a.m. and I went to the 7 a.m. Luckily, I was able. I think I had like 2 granola bars. I was able to eat something before because I knew that workout was gonna be really hard. But I know that 6 a.m. group, you guys weren't able to eat anything, and we had I think the 100 squats and something crazy. Whatever
it was 100 squats. I remember exactly.
We had to do the 100 squats with like, I think I remember I had to do 100 squats with like 270. I think it was like 40% of your max, something crazy, man.
50% of your max, and I had 250.
That's what I'm saying. So luckily, I was able to eat. I was able to eat something and get through it, and I didn't have the rhabdo. But walk me through that experience, man, because 2011 was crazy. You had to go through that and still had to fight to become a senior starter. And I remember I tore my pec and my labrum, benching 390 on our last weightlifting before we had 2 weeks off before summer camp. I remember I was sober for like 4 months. I didn't go out. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything sexually. Like, when I say I was locked in for that senior year, like I stayed in Iowa City for spring break and just did 2 days every day with Mike Daniels. When I say I was so locked in to have a good senior year and then to experience that injury, I had to get 2 surgeries and had to rehab to try to get back for the first game. Walk me through that rhabdo experience, and then just how you were able to mold yourself to get back. And then once you got back, how long it took you to feel normal again, to feel your normal, like, athletic self.
That rhabdo experience was different, man. It's like I said, I've always been a weight room guy.
Yeah.
I've always been a weight room guy. So I've always wanted to lift more weights and do this. That workout was crazy though. I remember it was 100 squats.
I remember.
It was like 50% of your max. My max at the time was almost the squat record or something close
Exactly.
to it. Like, so
Exactly.
I just remember looking over and having 20 more pounds than the lineman next to me. And I'm like,
Yes.
dude, something ain't right here. Like, I know I'm strong, but come on. You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
so
I don't even know how we did that, bro. I don't like.
I don't know how
It
we did it.
amazes me
Like,
that we did that. I don't know how we did that.
it was 100 squats. I had it was 245 on the bar.
Mhm.
All right. And I remember my first set, I do 25 to 30. And racket, because it was like just 100 reps. It didn't matter how many
Right.
sets. All right. I didn't use the right strategy. My legs were shot after the
Shot.
first one. All
Right.
right. It didn't go 25, 20. No, it went 25 and then like 7. And then
Right.
I'm just
Right.
like
Then it's
5.
5, 4.
And I just
It's the
remember
3 again. 3.
I'm around like I'm in my 80s, all right, and 90s. And I just remember that was the time where I got strength coaches coming over, counting, saying like, nope, too high,
That
doesn't
rep
count.
don't count.
Don't count.
No, I remember. I
I'm
remember
at
that, bro.
94. Like, nope, too high, don't count.
I
Too
remember
high,
that.
don't count. Like,
Ridiculous.
how do you respond is the biggest
Exactly.
thing. Like, okay, so
Exactly.
whatever. I get through my 100. I end up doing probably 115 or 110 or something with this weight, dude.
So crazy.
Stumbling downstairs. Then we got sled pushes after.
I remember I couldn't
remember
walk. I couldn't bend my leg. I
couldn't
couldn't
walk.
bend my legs.
Couldn't
Then we had sled
sled
pushes. People
Couldn't
forget about
push the
that. Then we
sled.
had sled pushes after that.
I don't forget about that. Couldn't push the sled. Getting cussed out. Like, hey, I don't know what you want me to do.
Bro.
So, then we get that. So we have that workout. My
Yeah.
legs are not
Yeah, I'm about
working.
to say
That was
what
on Thursday. That was on
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
After that workout, like all weekend, can't do
Couldn't go
anything.
nowhere. I remember.
I'm just can't sit down. My legs aren't quads won't catch. I gotta like
I remember we
fall
were
on my
all
bed.
sore. We were all sore.
Whatever. I've
I
been
couldn't
sore
bend
before.
my leg. Yeah.
Whatever. We've been sore before. I'm used to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little extra sore in my mind.
Yeah.
But then we have a workout on Monday morning.
That Monday, yeah.
I remember we're just doing like hurdle jumps. I can't jump over the bot like a little hurdle. I told you, I have the record at Iowa.
Exactly.
Like I couldn't jump over this little hurdle. And then I got the strength coach like, hey, well, stop feeling sorry for yourself, blah blah, like all this stuff. I can't lunge with a twist. I can't like lunge, catch. Like
I remember.
I get kicked out of the workout on Monday morning. All right.
Yeah.
Kicked out of this workout.
I didn't know were you the only one? I didn't know you got kicked out of the workout.
I don't know if I was the only one, but I got kicked out of this
Okay.
workout. I've never been kicked out of a workout at the University of Iowa. All right.
Because you couldn't jump over the hurdles.
I'm a workout guy. Obviously, something should tell you something's wrong.
Exactly.
Exactly. So after that, next thing I know, a few hours later, then we all get a message. The whole team gets a message like, hey, if you're feeling like this, go to the emergency room. All right.
Yeah.
Then we go to the emergency room. All right. Then they tell me I have rhabdo. All right. We have to flush your system, and they're giving me IVs and all this stuff. I go into the hospital at 210 the next day, 255 or something like that.
Yo, that's wild, bro. That is wild,
like,
man.
From fluids. It was just crazy, man. And just different stuff.
And you were there for like 2 weeks. I remember you and Willie Lowe were there the longest. You were at the hospital.
We were there the longest. It was like I think it was a week and a half, something like that. And with that, they finally flush your system, get everything back right, normal, test wise. Then they let us out, and we're essentially just slowly losing weight. You know what I'm saying? Over the next couple weeks.
I got you.
And that was when my body had to transition back to playing.
Yeah,
now
normal.
Spring balls is about to start, and
normal
sense of urgency. I ain't got time to go nowhere. So let's get back to this.
Exactly.
You know
let's get back to it. So before I dive into the 2012 draft and ask you what stood out at your career at Iowa, let me ask you this, bro. Somebody I think that, so I tell guys all the time, people would talk about should Chris Doyle have been let go? Should he have resigned? Should he work somewhere else? All these things. So I tell people all the time, I base my experience with him individual. I don't place a team thing on it because we all have individual experiences with Chris Doyle. So and I try to be honest, and I tell people now I remember him disrespecting the inner city of Cleveland once or twice, saying a joke that we
Mm-hmm.
that we didn't think was funny, that we kind of
Yep. Like,
talked
wait a
about in the
minute,
locker
that's
room. Like,
weird.
hold
Yeah.
up, yeah, like man, I remember asking Will and Bruce, like, man, I wonder did he really like feel that way, like kind of feeling some type of way about it, but obviously not saying anything. You know, we don't want to be problematic,
Mm-hmm.
not saying that, just keeping it amongst us. But to be honest, and I tell guys all the time, Chris Dorian was very valuable to me. I mean, all the things that he taught me, and as far as strength and conditioning, I still do that in my workouts today, like 10 years
Absolutely.
later. Like, I mean, so what is your reaction to, because like you said, we were in those weightlifting sessions. We saw him blatantly disrespect some guys and
Mm-hmm.
really take some guys' experience. But I can't say that I went through that exact thing. I've been disrespected once or twice, but it was never to the level of some other guys. So what's your
Absolutely.
reaction? What's your reaction to some of the stories that came out, them separating themselves from him, and then Urban Meyer trying to pick him back up 8 months later, and him only being there for a day because the onslaught just came on. People thinking like, no, that this wasn't enough time. He needs to like learn his lesson or maybe change up his
Mm-hmm.
approach, things of that nature. It's been cool to hear different people's opinions, but we were in it. We walked in that for 5 years. So
Yeah.
just give me your reaction and give me your opinion on that.
I mean, my opinion and thoughts on it is helped me a lot as far as in the weight room as well, and developmentally and different things. But being somebody who works with athletes now, and works with kids, and has to understand the relationship dynamics.
Exactly.
I mean, there are lines that can be crossed,
Yeah.
and I feel like he did cross those lines with certain athletes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we've had our back and forths as well. I mean, with myself personally, from that standpoint. But I mean, it's really a person to person basis. You know what I'm saying? It's helped developmentally, but I feel like you don't want to cross those lines with athletes either. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying earlier, being able to push athletes and find the right way to do that is key.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And somebody who was with the program for a long time and helped a lot of athletes, but those relationships you have to be able to manage, quite frankly. So I mean, I think guys got to be able to find that balance. I think Coach Doyle, he misused his power in a sense. I guess would be a way to put it. As far as on the racial side, I mean, I don't know if he's meant to be malicious or racist. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the intent from that standpoint. But I mean, I know there was multiple occasions where things were said, like you said, where it's like, wait a minute, like,
right. Like,
I don't know if you should have said that right there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's just the biggest thing. So, I mean, if nothing else, it's helped me learn more as far as to be able to help with athletes.
Learn that line, what to say, what not to joke about. Okay, this may not be funny. Like,
while still being able to push
them
athletes and motivate athletes,
get the best out of them.
But doing it the correct way. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a key part of it. And as far as the hire and resignation recently, I mean, I don't feel either way about it, to be honest. I mean, that's up to them from that standpoint. Like, they're all grown, and these guys go through the hiring and firing process. You know what I'm saying? Do I think that he should never coach again and all this? Like, I mean, I don't know if I would go to that extent. You know what I'm saying? But
I wouldn't go to that extent.
I think it can go. I think he can kind of look back and revise his approach and think about things and actually acknowledge certain things.
Exactly.
Biggest thing versus try to push things on the rug or say things weren't me. From that standpoint, if anything, you accept the things that you've done, the things that you've said, and you move on from there. And that's I totally agree. That's the first kind of step of being able to move on. if you don't accept things and you're still thinking like that you've done nothing wrong, then
Yes.
you
And
can't
that
really move
shows you
forward.
haven't really learned. Yes. Yes.
Exactly. You can't really move
I
forward. You haven't really learned.
bro, I completely love that perspective, and I totally agree with it. I think that, like you said, saying that maybe he shouldn't work in sports performance or anything like that again, no, I don't agree with that, because as we know, he's one of the best out here. The ways that he did that he does things and improves athletes, we all know he's one of the best. But like you
Mm-hmm.
said, brushing things under the rug or acting like you thought that you didn't do anything wrong, that's not the way. You got to be a man first. You got to be a man of
Mm-hmm.
principle. And maybe you didn't know some jokes were you shouldn't have said and things like that. And if you didn't know, that's fine. But like you said, say that, acknowledge that. Hey, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I did say a few jokes, and I apologize. I didn't think there was
Yep.
any disrespect there. Accept your wrongdoing, and then you can start moving towards that next, opportunity, like you said, man. But yeah, I definitely think that's going to be his first. That's going to be the first step to being able to get another job, or being respected, or being received. That's like, okay, then like you said, changing your approach, knowing that you can't say personal disrespectful things to athletes, trying to motivate them. You got to find a different approach. Like you said, you got to find a different tactic that's not going to taint that athlete's experience, or that's not going to mess with that athlete's mental health or their confidence. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to take it personal. You always want to keep it, like you say, it's lines with everything. So if he can get that, I think that, yeah, he'll be on his way back to, the doing what he loves. So yeah,
Yep.
I love your
Accepting
perspective.
first.
Definitely, man. So one, what moments stand out to you during your career at Iowa? And then two, start to kind of walk me through the draft process. I know I stayed in Iowa City and trained for pro day. But I think you went somewhere and trained, and then came back for pro day, and obviously went stupid
Mm-hmm.
with stupid
Yeah.
set records. I still remember that picture with you touching the thing. I still remember
Mm-hmm.
that. So yeah, two-part question. What moment stood out to you at Iowa? And then talk about your training process. What were you hearing? Because I'm sure you probably maybe weren't expecting to get drafted, but you still got drafted 217th overall in the seventh round.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about those two things for me.
Let's see. Well, as far as things that stood out at Iowa is really just, man, the camaraderie we had as those teams.
I'm
That
telling you.
it's really nothing like it, man. Those are my, like,
Yes,
all of you guys are my brothers to this day. Like,
to this day.
Marv was FaceTiming me the other day. Dez was calling me. Like, it's just those relationships that I was
Yes,
able to build at the University of Iowa. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And that's one of the biggest things that I've been able to take from Iowa.
yes,
Besides that process that I'm talking about,
yes,
that process of being able to handle adversity. Because
yes.
I came into Iowa, like you said, you thought I was going three and out. Me
Easily,
too. All right.
easily.
So I
It wasn't
came
even an
in.
argument.
So I came in as far as so highly touted and just different things to being able to uh, handle that adversity of not starting for 3.5 years
Yes,
uh, without giving up on my goals and the things that I was
yes.
trying to do, without,
Still going.
without just transferring. Dude, I, it's crazy, this transfer portal. Like, because we didn't
Imagine
have
if
that.
we had that.
But
Imagine if we had that.
with that said, dude, I just saw like another number one linebacker is transferring, and like just different things. Like,
Yeah.
these guys, these kids now have like the
They have way
top
more
kids, like the
resources.
number one kids in the whole
Leave
class
school.
get on
Yeah.
campus for 3 months and transfer. Like, that is crazy to me. But it's
I'm
because
telling
they don't
you.
know how to handle adversity, and
Yeah.
they haven't been told that they're gonna have to handle adversity. When you've
Yeah.
been the man your whole life, you think you're gonna be the man. No, that's not
Yeah.
gonna be the case always. So
Yeah.
I love being able to get across that point, because we've had some highly touted recruits. We've had guys that have been getting offers at sophomores, and now they're going to
Yes.
here and there. You know what I'm saying? Being able to help some of our athletes now. And
Yes.
one of the biggest takes that I give these guys is, how are you going to respond when you get punched in the mouth? Because
Exactly.
yes, you're the man now. Like, yes, you've been making these plays. You just won 3 state championships. Like,
Right.
but what are you going to do when you're not starting? How are you going to respond? What are you going to do when
Right.
when you're going 2-8? Like,
Right.
how are you going to
How
respond
are you
as
going
an
to respond?
athlete? How are you going to respond as a man? And
Exactly.
and that's just something that I try to instill in our guys because, like I said, we got guys going in and then they're going out. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying? And the only way that you can really get to the place that these guys are trying to go the right way, in my opinion, is to handle that adversity, put in the work, and being
Exactly.
able to learn to get better. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Simple
Exactly.
as that.
Totally agree. Yes.
Simple as
Absolutely.
that. So, but yeah, going back to the question, man, being able to be with my brothers, being able to meet all these guys and being able to see these guys still play now is what,
Exactly.
dang, I get to live vicariously through Micah
Bro.
and like all
And
these guys, Big Mike,
Curtsy. Yes.
Kirksey, and like all my brothers, man, AC, like
Still out there.
all these guys that we played with that are still in the league, uh, making these plays because
Yes.
I know how hard they worked to get to the league, and then I know how
Exactly.
hard they've been working to stay
To
in the
stay in
league
the
and
league.
stay playing at that high level. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
telling you, bro. Bro, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. I just interviewed Carl Davis a couple of days last week, and he's with the Patriots.
Yeah,
He's with the
big
Patriots
dude.
right now. Yeah, he's with the Patriots right now. Just completed year 6, and I asked him the same question, bro. And it's crazy. I almost got goosebumps when he said this. He said he was like, "Man, bro, I miss that locker room camaraderie, like the camaraderie in the weight room when you got to max out and you got everybody hyping you up, hitting your back, pumping you up." And I
Exactly.
started thinking about that, and I just got goosebumps. I'm like, bro, like that that feeling, man. It's like you can't even explain it when
No.
that feeling with your brothers when you got all your brothers pumping you up, and then y'all talk about it in the locker room. How happy you get when you reach your next self, or you reach that record, or you reach that peak,
Hmm.
and then you focus on the next goal. You focus on like just
PR, whatever it may be.
yeah, man, just those feels in the locker room, in the weight room, like you said with your brothers. It's like it gave me goosebumps, man. And that's an NFL guy going into year 7, and that's what he remembered the most. Like
Yeah.
he was telling me how the NFL is not like that. You don't get that. You don't get those feels in the NFL. So
Hmm.
I think that's so powerful, man. Walking through those experiences, like I talked about earlier, it's so much value in those experiences, man. That it sticks out in your mind.
Yeah, man, it's so different. And like that's just the best way to put it. It's just those experiences and that camaraderie, like all the things
Yes,
that we got to do, whether it's just hanging out, whether it was just being in the dorms, whether it was just,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It was just little stuff most of the time, but
Yeah,
just all
yeah.
these things over these periods of time
I'm
combined
telling you.
with being able to work, get these
Yeah,
dubs,
I'm telling you,
that kind
man.
of thing.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just all adds up, man.
Great
And
feeling.
it's
Great
just
feeling, man.
different. Uh,
Yes, sir. So yeah, talk about your walk going into the 2012 draft. I know I can't remember where you trained at. I know you trained somewhere else. So talk
yes.
about where you trained and then coming back and going crazy at pro day. I think you jumped like something crazy again, 45, and you ran a 43. I mean, you just put on the show,
Hmm.
ended up getting drafted. So just talk about that because I think, like you said, even starting playing football in Vallejo, California, all you ever want to do is make it to the highest level of football, which is which is
Yep.
which is the NFL, and to personally see your journey, to personally see and feel what you went through during those 5 years. We were there at the same exact time. We
Hmm.
graduated on the same date.
Yep.
I think it was like this December 11th or something like that. So to see you go through all that turbulence and still get drafted down. The 2012 NFL draft, that was probably the worst day of my life. You know what I mean? And I could be
Hmm.
honest, I remember I didn't leave the house for like a month, bro. Like it
Yeah.
was a bad experience for me, but I was so happy for all my dudes in my class. I was so happy for you, like because I knew the stuff that you went through, and for you to still get drafted. So just kind of talk about that day, talk about leading up to that day where you trained at things of that nature, and then relive draft day for
Yes. Yes. Absolutely, man. Well, instead of training in Iowa City, I actually flew down to Huntsville, Alabama, trained
you.
with my trainer and mentor now, actually being a gym owner because he's
Yeah.
amazing. But my man Andy McCloy, all right, and me and Dez went down there and we're training. All
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
we trained together before the draft and was down there working in the heat. And,
Hmm.
uh, knowing nobody down there. So those blinders, being able to get out of our element
Hmm.
was big, man. Like
Hmm.
I love Iowa City, all this stuff, but being able to get to Alabama where I knew nobody, Knew nobody but Dez, all right, and my
Mm-hmm.
boy Steve, who was we actually ended up playing against us in the bowl game. He played against us. He played at OU, but he was
Okay.
trained
Okay.
down there as well.
Okay.
So being able to train down there, get ready for the pro day, that was key. That helped me out a lot, man. Just Andy's methods, combined with a bunch of the things that I already knew, combined with me getting my body back healthy. Ooh, I was beat
Mm-hmm.
up after that senior season.
Right. Right.
I couldn't even lift my arms past my
Yeah, I remember.
shoulders, dude. Flying
I remember.
around
Yeah.
doing all that tackling. All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Hitting everything
so
moving,
once my
knocking out
body
all
got
bums.
all bums, all right. So once my body got back healed up, that was when I was able to get training hard, being able to prepare for pro day, so that preparation can meet that opportunity again, man. Like I said, I've been doing these combines since that Nike combine, so this ain't
Yeah.
nothing new.
2006.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
All right. So flew back to Iowa, had the pro day with all the teams in attendance. Yeah, and executed.
Went crazy.
I mean, with
Whoa, what was your
everything.
official jump? Was it over 45? What was your official
No,
jump?
the official jump was 44.8.
Okay, okay.
Was the
I
official
know it was close
jump.
to 45.
Let's see. The 40 was 438,
Yeah,
with a crazy 10 split,
yeah,
and 20 split. It was, yeah, just got to put all that stuff and showcase it in front of at the right time. I
yeah,
mean, even bench was never my favorite thing. I wanted to squat and lift, deadlift, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I
And
remember. I
clean.
remember.
I remember benching, I think, shoot, what was it, 20, 21 times with the 225. Like,
Crazy.
all
Yeah,
right. So, but
you put on
just
a
being
show, man.
able to be ready and execute when it's time. And
Yeah.
that's what really helped me. Did not know I'd be getting drafted, but I was optimistic.
Hmm.
I started having a bunch of teams ask questions after that pro day. So
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, I remember flying out to Oakland, flying out to New England, and just different things.
Yeah,
Uh, and talking with these coaches, having them ask me all these questions. All right. One
yeah.
of the biggest questions being, where have you been the last 3 years? Uh,
Right, right.
why are you
Uh,
just a one hit
uh,
1 year guy?
yeah, coach. That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you. I've been.
Ask Coach Parker. Okay. No. So being able to explain that, but also being able to understand the versatility that
Yeah,
corner helped me have.
yeah,
Because once I
yeah,
did
yeah,
learn to play corner, helped me learn to cover because I didn't really know how to cover guys. I just wanted to hit.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So that was something I was able to talk to guys about,
Hmm.
kind of sell myself and just different things.
Absolutely.
So then we get fast forward to the draft. I wasn't even watching the draft. All right.
Yeah.
I think I watched the first day. All right. So the
Okay.
first round, which I knew I wasn't getting drafted in the first round. I was just watching to see which guys were.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
and then after that, I wasn't even watching it, man. I was playing. Uh, I was just chilling at the house playing Call of Duty. Actually, I used to
Yeah.
be on the COD. So
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
I remember I was playing Call of Duty when I got drafted, dude. All right. Like
Wow.
I had the headset on. I'm over here. I remember it.
They
Marvin
called you
got drafted. Marvin got drafted to
in
Philly.
the sixth round. Yeah. Yeah. He won the sixth round.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I
All
remember
right.
that.
Philly called me right after they drafted Marvin and said, "Hey, as you can see, we just drafted McNutt. That was our last draft pick, though. So, but if you don't get drafted, then we want you to come out to Philly." I'm like,
Yeah.
man, why are you calling me right now? You can't wait till after the draft.
Right.
Coach
Right.
Castillo, I love you. All right.
Right. Right.
It's
Right. Right.
Greg's dad.
Okay. I remember. I
So
remember him. Yeah.
so they called me. All right, whatever. So I get my game back on. I'm playing. Next thing I know, my phone rings, weird number. Uh, I'd like throw my headset off, throw the controller across the room. Like, hello? They're like, hey, Jordan Bernstine, it's Mike Shanahan with the Washington Redskins. I'm like, what? How you doing? Like, jump up
Yeah.
and down.
I
Uh,
already know, bro.
and yeah, I just remember him being like, how would you like to be a part of the Washington Redskins?
Yeah.
We're drafting you, and just that just being one of the most amazing days,
Surreal.
man.
Yeah. I
Surreal.
already know,
All
man.
right. It
Yeah.
just feels like it felt like all that work I had put in, all that
Yes.
adversity I had been through,
Yes.
all these different things,
Yes.
had finally come
Came into
and it
fruition.
finally
It all
came
it all
straight
made
to
sense.
fruition. All right.
It all
It
made
started to
sense.
make sense with it being so short notice almost
Yeah.
after that 1 year. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So they drafted me with expectations for me to come in and do a lot. You know what I'm saying? To
Mm-hmm.
actually make some plays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was my goal. I came in. I remember getting there, man, and it was just amazing
Yeah.
being in the locker room with guys that I was watching play football when I was in middle school. All right,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
D'Angelo Hall is one in particular.
Oh man, oh,
Uh,
he was still there. Oh, I know
the
that was
vet,
surreal, bro.
D
Yes.
Hall was the vet, man. Like being able to have it there, playing, teaching us these experiences, teaching us the
Yeah. Yeah.
defense, all these
Yeah.
different things. And
And
then I
I remember
finally,
I remember reading articles that you were like making waves during training camp. You was killing,
dude,
really
I was
opening
making some
eyes.
plays. Yes,
So I wasn't surprised
preseason.
that you made the team. I wasn't surprised that you made the team. Yeah.
Man, I mean, preseason was different. Like I could actually play by the line of scrimmage, so I could like
Yeah.
walk up in front of that tight end
Yeah.
and play in the backfield a little bit more. If he block, I'm
Hmm.
blitzing and just different
Exactly.
things, or replacing and just different things. So
Right.
from that standpoint, I remember my first play in the NFL, dude. I'm running down on kickoff against with the Bills. I'm running down. Weave through up backs coming up to block me. Big fullback,
Hmm.
number 45. I don't remember what. Uh, he's coming up to block me. I knocked this big 250 into the returner. All right. The running
Wow.
back behind him. Boom, knock him into the returner. Tackle both of them. My first play in the NFL. All right.
Crazy.
That was a dope play. I hop
Yeah.
up, hype, all this stuff. It went a lot better than my first play of college football, which was
Right.
stupid.
Right.
but
Right.
so my first play on defense, I remember going in, my guy blocks, I shoot the hole. It's a runaway.
TFL.
I tackle for a loss. All right, running
Yeah.
down opposite side of the field. Like,
Yeah.
this the
Yeah.
NFL?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like
I'm
this
out
is
here. I'm out
this is
here.
all right. I think one of the next plays, something comes my way. I like shed the
Yeah.
fullback, get a tackle for a loss. It
Crazy.
was I think 3 of those 4 preseason games. I mean, you can don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I led the team in tackles
Yeah.
3 of the 4
I remember
preseason games. Like
making waves.
just
I knew he was gonna make the team.
being able to be downhill. I ended up getting a pick, finally getting my hands on the
Hmm.
ball a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just fun stuff, man. So that was
Hmm.
a really fun experience, man, being able to make plays with guys against the guys that I was watching when I was in
Hmm.
middle and
Hmm.
high school. Simple as
Exactly.
that. And with that, man, my career got cut short too soon. All
Here,
right.
here,
Like,
here, here come the
how
turbulence. The
crazy is
turbulence,
that? You
the
the
turbulence come right
adversity,
back to you, man. Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to it, man. So it's just
I
always
remember,
getting
I
to
remember that game, bro. I was watching that game. I heard you made the team, so I wanted to make sure I watched to see, you on special teams, to see if you got any defensive snaps, obviously, because I was still training, trying to get a call for a workout or something that season, that 2012 season.
Mhm.
So just talk about that play versus Saints, man, where again you finally catching stride, things starting to make sense. You made it to the NFL. You're on the active roster, like you're playing in the NFL,
Crazy.
and then again the injury
It's
comes. So
like a
just talk about that, man.
but it's like a dang book. It's crazy. I could make this stuff up. Like,
Yeah.
because the part that I don't talk about that much and guys don't know that much, like, it's just that time frame. Like,
Yes.
I did all that in the preseason, make the team after barely getting drafted and doing this, like,
Yes.
and make the team practice that week, get injured. Week 1 of my rookie year. Like,
Oh man, I'm
how
telling you, bro.
crazy
Like,
is that,
how does
man?
that even happen? Like,
So, but I'm running down on kickoff, engaged with a blocker here, looking over his shoulder with Sproles coming towards
hmm
me. Uh,
hmm
and as I'm looking there, 2 guys behind me like fall into the back of my legs, rolled up
yeah,
on. Freak
yeah,
accident.
yeah,
Uh, just crazy, man. I remember everybody peeling off, getting up. I like stand up, try to put some weight on it. I'm like, I don't feel good.
yeah,
Like, try to
yeah,
take another step. I'm like, no.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then
I
everybody's
feel right.
get down. Dude,
Yeah.
I did not know how long that they stopped the game. That game was stopped for like an hour. All
Wow.
right, like
Yeah, I
while I'm out
remember.
there on the field doing this stuff for my knee, like,
Yeah.
so get injured. This is on Sunday. My opening dang week of the NFL season. All right, on Monday. All right, on Monday, I have a doctor tell me, all right, you have torn your ACL, MCL, PCL. Oh, and you
Everything.
ruptured your patella tendon. You messed up your kneecap too.
Oh my God.
So
Oh my God.
you won't be. All right. My response was, all right. Well, what's the recovery time? Like, when can I get back
Right.
playing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're crazy. All
Yeah.
right. Dude. He's like, man, back playing. He like
Like he
chuckled. I
laughed at
remember
it.
him
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you won't be able to, I don't think you'll be able to walk or jog without a limp. We're just trying to get you to be able to do normal everyday things like sit and
Wow.
stand. Like,
Wow.
matter of fact, can you feel this? If you can't feel this, you may have nerve damage. We may have to amputate your leg from the knee down. I'm like, what are you? I was running a
Bro.
4.3 yesterday.
Yo, bro,
What do
that's
you mean?
man. What did that do to your mental, bro? Because that's one thing I want to talk about, the mental health piece. You've had to fight through so many obstacles.
So many.
And what I remember about you, bro, and I know you still like this, you always were just so positive. Like it didn't matter what happened, you stayed positive, and you knew some of the things was BS. Like you could see between the lines, but you just stayed positive. And like you said, to that timeline to finally make it, to finally make the active roster, you're in the NFL playing at the highest level, then another injury. How did it do anything to your mental health? And you just kept that same mentality,
Hey,
like
I
whatever
told you my
obstacle, I'm gonna get through it.
mentality. I
Yes.
told you my mentality. Lock it in, come back faster, stronger, and let's get to it.
Yes.
All right. That's that same
Does it,
mentality.
bro? I have to ask you this, man. Does a person like that? Do you ever have a moment of weakness? Like because we're all we're all
We are
human.
human.
We all come short because we're all short of the glory. But how, like, just staying positive and getting through all of those roadblocks, bro? Like, was there ever a moment of weakness? Was there ever a moment where it's like, dang, like what, like why me? Or like, why is this, like, why do I have to keep fighting through something? When will I ever touch just a little piece of glory, just a little bit?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, everybody has that moment of weakness where it's almost that why me moment
Yes,
in a
yes.
sense. But I mean, honestly, after going through all these different things and all this adversity, I don't have a lot of those.
Yeah,
I mean, my mindset has never really been why me. It's always been, all right, what the hell do I need to do to get through this? All right, what do I
yes,
need to
yes,
do to knock this out? You know what I'm
yes,
saying? That kind of thing. So I mean, while I do have those moments just like everybody else where it's like, shoot, I get down, you know, I'm a little more negative. Soon as I feel myself having those moments, it's almost
yeah.
like me
You
slapping
catch yourself,
myself
you
on the
snap, yeah, you snap out
exactly.
of it.
Got to
Yes, yes,
catch myself and get positive. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Think of the things that I'm grateful for. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Because I'm grateful for so many things.
absolutely.
So that's one thing that always helps me stay positive. Just understanding where I came from and where
Yes.
I'm at now, because it's been a long journey
I'm
from that
telling you, I'm telling you.
standpoint.
Still here, still
From
here.
all the all right, we ain't got the money to do this when I'm younger, and we doing that, to
Yes,
injuries, to
yes,
family things, to
yes,
just whatever it may be. So,
exactly.
but whatever that is, just being able to
Just keep
understand
pushing, keep pushing.
it's just
Yes,
a bump in the road. It's just a bump in the
yes,
road, and I'm usually gonna be better because of it. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? From that standpoint.
Fall
So
down seven times, get up eight, man. I love it. I love it.
always,
So
man.
I got three more questions, man.
Okay.
So talk about the day that you knew it in your conscious mind. You made a decision that, okay, I'm never going to strap it up again. I'm like,
Whew.
was that a good day? Was it a bad day? Did you have any mixed emotions? Because for me, it was a bad day. Like it took me about 2 months to really seep in my mind,
Really,
like, okay, I'm never gonna put a helmet on again. Like this
really say it,
thing is
man.
really over. And for me, I went through a period of like an identity crisis because like I didn't know who I started thinking
Don't
like,
know
okay,
what else to do.
what do I like outside of football? Like what do I like to do?
Football.
like, That's what I'm
Watching
saying.
football, learning
That's what I'm saying,
football.
bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. I literally went through identity crisis because I didn't know what I like to do outside of football. So I literally had to take it back to grade school. I had to think about what did I do as a kid before I started playing football. I was sketching, I was in plays, I had a really good memory. Like I was kind of into the arts more. Like before I
Okay.
started
Yep.
playing football, and football really took over my life. So that's what made me start delving back into the arts, like acting, hosting, writing, things of
Love it.
that nature.
Love it.
But I had to go back to 8, 7 to remember because once I started playing sports, it took over my life for 20 years. So was that a good day for you? Was it a bad day? Was it a time period?
It was
Was it
a
just like was it a navigating situation? Like what was it for you?
it was a it was a long time frame, man. Looking back for me. I
Yes.
mean for you as well. Like you were still playing up until that, 15, 16. I
Yeah.
was not, but in my mind, I was still getting back into the league, dude. So
Yeah.
I got all right, that time frame. I got injured in 2012, that rookie year. All right. I was with the team all the way until 2013, rehabbing for a year. All right.
Yeah.
Then they released me because the knee's not ready. So then I came out to Colorado. I'm
Mm-hmm.
rehabbing for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Up until the 14 season, doing two a
Mm-hmm.
days, three a days, biking every night, doing it
Mm-hmm.
like blinders, getting back to the
Yep.
league. Hey, are you going to get
Yep.
another job? Or are you going to do getting back to the league? I'm
Back
rehabbing.
in the
Like,
league. Yeah. Yeah.
all
Yeah.
right. So that was up until 14. So now that's 2 years that just flew by. All right. I
Mm-hmm.
start back working out for teams around 2014 season. Start
Mm-hmm.
flying out, start working out for some teams there, but they're like, you're back fast, athletic, but we still see you favoring the knee a little bit. Give it a little bit more time, keep working. We'll call you later.
Wow. Wow.
Whatever. Okay. Okay,
Still
cool.
favoring it after 2 years of rehab. After 2 years?
Yes, dude. My he told you how injured. He said I wasn't gonna be able to
Oh
jog.
yeah, you
I'm
had
back running a
everything.
four
Yes.
three. I'm back running 4-3, 4-4. All right, like
Crazy.
straight up.
Yes.
I'm back
Yeah.
being my normal athletic self. Back running
Yes.
4-3s and stuff. So, but being able to change direction and do all these things, you can still see me favoring it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, around that time, end of 2014, start of
Mm-hmm.
2015 that I'm working out,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
partially re-tear my ACL. All right.
Oh my God.
And
Oh my God.
from there,
That's when you knew,
uh,
like, you started thinking, like, okay,
no, it's
maybe.
not when I knew. All right.
Okay.
That's how crazy I was. All right.
Okay.
Partially re-tear my ACL. All right. Got to go through this surgery all again for 15, start of 15. And then after that surgery, I'm still getting back to the league.
Yes.
I'm still
Still
back
doing it.
working
Yeah.
out. And that was
Still
around the
getting there.
time I started having those athletes work out with me and
Mm-hmm.
organically make that transition to
Yep.
helping other athletes, to finding that passion and finding what I really love to do. It was
Absolutely.
long, man.
Absolutely, man.
It was a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
process.
That time period, I'm telling you, man, people don't understand that grind and just really, and having just to accept, like, okay, I'm never doing this again. What else do I like to do? What's going to
That
bring me joy? What's
that
going
took
to
a
bring me
while.
joy every day when I wake up? What do I like to do that's going to bring me joy other than football? Because football is it's over. So yeah,
Hmm.
I
But
appreciate that honesty.
that was the time. But with that said, these twins also sped up that process a little bit.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
while I was doing that, starting to train some athletes,
Mm-hmm,
I had the location that I was at say, hey,
mm-hmm.
we're leaving in 2 months. Good luck, guys. We're moving to Cali. We're relocating.
Okay,
So MP was relocating. My
yeah,
girls were just born. They were a couple months old. And
yeah,
I really got put in a space where it was, okay, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to
yeah,
respond? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So that was when I uh, had made the decision to open Ground Up Sports Performance with my partner
Mm-hmm,
Mike,
mm-hmm.
and really get into the industry and
Right,
really
right,
start training athletes and
right.
really make this my livelihood. You know what I'm saying, from that
Exactly,
standpoint.
exactly.
And
What would you
uh,
say? Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I actually added this question. What would you say is the ether? Because I literally saw you start ground sports. I remember looking at the pictures of
Hmm.
you all building it, and to see what it's become over the years. What would you say? What has been the best experience? Obviously, because as a creative, as an entrepreneur, it's always cool to think about you starting something from nothing, like
From
ground
the
up
ground
sports
up.
sports performance LLC. What started off as nothing, like you had to sit down with your partner and think of a name, and then okay, once you all have a name, you got to reserve that name, and then once it's accepted, you got to buy the company, and then you have to build a website, then you have to go find a location, then you have to. It's so
Yeah.
many layers to building a business, and to see where it is now. What moments stood out to you during that start to where you all are now? Like just like, and I love the name. What moments stand out to you as an entrepreneur, just starting something from the ground up? Perfect name, like you said, but now in a new facility, now and a mixed number of clients, and a mixed number of groups. Like,
Even
what has been,
athletes, like
yeah. What has been
uh
the best experience that just building that company?
it's just been amazing seeing all the work come to fruition, man. Like we started out, especially now. We just relocated to a bigger facility here a few months ago. But the place that you were looking at the last 3 years, that
Mm-hmm.
dude, that gym was 15 yards of turf. Like it was just so small,
So
like looking
small,
at it now, but it didn't feel
but
that
y'all,
way.
yeah,
You
you
know what
made
I'm
it
saying?
work.
Because you have to be able to start somewhere. So
Yes,
being able to have that starting point, being able to have that foundation has
yes,
really helped us for where we're at today. And
yes, yes,
now we're able to look at the business side a little bit differently. Now
yes.
I'm able to do more with our business, with our facility,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
it just looks cool, man. Like our
Yeah,
place now is just so much better uh, for our athletes,
yes.
being able to now that we know what it is we do, what athletes it
Mm-hmm,
is. Like, all
mm-hmm,
right, I played football. When I started training, I was training football players. You know what I'm
mm-hmm,
saying?
mm-hmm,
Things like that. Now that's not really the case all the time.
mm-hmm,
Like I
mm-hmm,
have
mm-hmm.
I might have a team of 14-year-old volleyball girls, like,
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
different things like that. So
that's
being
cool.
able to help all these athletes, and now being able to create a place that they just want to be. Like
Right.
these kids love it at our facility to the point where their parents are like, man, it was really snowing, but they made us bring them in, blah, blah. Like I told
Yeah,
them
yeah.
no, but like, and that's for nine
They
year
really
old
want to
kids
be there.
that, and
Yeah,
just different things like that. And that's what I really that's what we really pride ourselves on, is being able
yeah.
to create that environment
Mm-hmm.
that these kids want to be at, want to get better. And
Absolutely.
now we've been able to do that with this new place, man. Like stuff I don't always show and all this, but like we got this amazing black turf, which is just
Yeah,
dope, and
I saw that.
black and yellow everything, just because I love black and gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of
So
course. You know that. You know that.
just the feel is just different. And then you go upstairs, and stuff you don't really see on Instagram and stuff is like I got a arcade room up there for these guys, like where
Right.
it's like YMCA feel when we used to go and play arcades and ping
Definitely,
pong,
man. That's so cool.
foosball, like, and just stuff
Yes.
like that, just to give these kids a sense of normalcy with all this
Normalcy.
craziness
Yes.
going on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely. I love it,
man,
bro.
just being able to create this place that these kids want to be, that they can come in and be with their friends, doing all this during these trying times. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And still get better. It's kind of what I pride myself on, and we pride ground up on. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. I absolutely love it. Love it, and I commend you all for just the wherewithal, the grit, the tenacity, the ferocity, just to continue to keep pushing. Like you said, like you say, no matter
Always.
what, just
Just
keep
gotta keep
pushing, man.
pushing.
Keep
It's
pushing.
always something.
Never quit, man. So two more questions. I think that it's a lot of guys that play football in high school, and then the number goes down in college. Then obviously, as you know, the number goes down in the NFL. Only certain amount of guys are able to say they played in the Big Ten or they played in the NFL, things of that nature. So a lot of guys never had the experience of playing with a guy that, after they passed, they found out that they had CTE.
Mhm.
So I wanted to get your opinion on, obviously, rest in peace to our boy Tyler Sash, but to find out after he passed that he had some CTE in his brain, surfing around in his brain, and for him to be a part of our class, and obviously you knew him before 2007 in high school, I'm sure. But I just remember him having like an amazing soul and really just being a good dude. I remember us bonding over like Drake and shoes. Once he was with the Giants, I remember I had like an outer body experience when I found out he passed. I went back to my phone and I tried to look at our last text message, and we were talking about shoes in our last text message. Like he was talking about Jordans, just having a normal conversation. But I guess I wanted to know, just because you were in that DB room and things of that nature, and because now I hear people saying like, okay, this guy has CTE symptoms, but you don't know someone has CTE until they pass. You gotta piece where their brain.
Yep.
So what are CTE symptoms? So I guess I wanted to know from your perspective, did you ever see anything from Saz? Because I never saw anything, but I know he changed after he was released from the Giants and things changed for him mentally. So did anything ever stand out to you about him that you would kind of think maybe he has some mental stuff going on, or did everything seem pretty normal? It seemed pretty normal for me, but I wanted to ask you that because obviously you moved to Iowa as a ninth grader and you knew him for a while as well. And I read like 3 articles last week where people are saying guys that are alive right now had like CTE symptoms, and I guess maybe it's like they have like a mental health issue, or maybe they have an outburst or something like that. So like, what's your response to us literally walking through and playing with it, cool with the guy, after you pass, that actually had it? It's like not too many people have that experience, and not too many people really pay attention to. Sometimes people show behaviors, and we're so immersed in our journey and what we're doing that we don't really see it or pay attention to it. So, what's your reaction to that?
I mean, it's not anything that I ever saw. Again, that was somebody that I was with often.
Exactly.
On the football field, off the football field, just different things. But yeah, man, he was always sash. He was always a happy guy. He was always, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, music, Drake, shoes, just different things. So yeah, man. And once that tragedy happened, man, it really hurt me as well. That was something that I had to get through, with that being one of my boys, you know what I'm saying, from that standpoint. But I mean, as far as the CTE and I mean that front, I mean, it's just scary just knowing that
very.
knowing it's something that can happen to athletes so young, knowing that it's something that that they're finding in more football players and athletes. But as far as being able to see it, definitely didn't see anything of the sort.
Me either. Because I know some guys say that they see signs from some guys, but I just thought for us in Sass's situation, like he just was always a really happy-go-lucky guy. Like, I mean, we used to go over his house and watch whatever boxing matches they would buy the fights. We go over there, order pizza wings. I mean, all the time. Like they helped me and Will move because we lived down the street from them. I mean, just a stand-up guy, just one of the coolest guys, man. So like you said, that was definitely tough to get through, man. I just wanted your opinion on that. So yeah, last question. What would you say is Jordan Bernstein's after effect? The 20+ year of football, all the injuries, all the trials and tribulations, all the politics, all the nepotism, fighting through all that, getting drafted, and then having another injury. What would you say is your after effect? What were some lessons that you learned through this whole amazing journey, the ups and downs, that you would take and you ingratiate into your twins, but also that you take and you ingratiate into your athletes now, as we just try to essentially push the culture forward?
To keep pushing. All right, like
we've been saying it the whole time. Keep pushing.
No, seriously, man, and that is something that I really try to engrave in our athletes. That I'm going to always try to engrave in my daughters and family is that it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be the way that you thought it was going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to be able to adapt and keep going. And when you keep going, you grow from that. When you keep going, you become a better person from that. You know what I'm saying? And all those experiences, whether it be negative at the time, whether it be positive at the time, all those different experiences are what really builds you and help you get to where you are today. And what's really gotten me today, without all these injuries, I don't I don't do what I'm doing today.
Right.
Without switching to corner for 3 years and then moving back to safety, like I don't get
Yes.
to the position I'm in today. Like,
Absolutely.
so I never really regret things. I just look at everything as it all happens
As
for
a
a
lesson.
reason. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And as those lessons occur, being able to extract something from those lessons, whether
Absolutely.
it could be something very bad. My injury, career ending knee injury, week one, like
Yes.
what can you extract from that lesson? And one thing I've gotten out of it is keep going.
Keep going.
It's you know what I'm saying. Always keep going, and you'll get
Yes.
to where you need to go. Is the biggest
Always,
thing
man.
because now I'm at a place where I'm doing something that I really love, and
Yes.
I had no clue what that was when I was playing football, other than football. So
Right.
now that I'm doing something that I really love, and I've been doing it for a few years now, I can see that progress.
Right.
I can see that process that I've been putting
Mm-hmm.
in on the business side now instead of on the
Mm-hmm.
football field. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So being able to keep going is just definitely going to get me where I need to go, get you where you need to go, man.
Right. Right. It's that's such a powerful after effect because keep going is two words and it's very simplistic, but it means so much.
Just keep
It holds
pushing.
so much value. Yes, yes, yes. Well,
Absolutely.
I appreciate you carving out the time, bro. Something that I've been trying to pride myself on. 2020 was the weirdest year we've ever walked through. We've seen deaths. We've had some cousins, some family members get sick, things of that nature. So I've been priding myself on giving guys flowers while they're still here. So all the awards, all the accomplishments from the time we met in 2006, I always felt like you was a freak athlete, but really getting to know you once we met on campus. Like you say, walking into your room, asking for a slice of pizza in the dorms, or
Exactly. Like,
or
all
ride
the
with
things.
you over to training table. I just want to give you your flowers and tell you I'm super proud of you, bro. Keep going, keep striving. You kept me inspired over the years to find myself outside of football, to find out what I was passionate about, to even from an entrepreneurial standpoint, understanding how to build a business, understanding how to build a company aligned with your passion. And I just want to show you that love and give you that love while we both still here, bro.
My brother, well, I love it. I appreciate you, man. And it's the same
Yes,
here.
sir.
Give me your flowers because I see
Yes,
you
sir.
building. Hey, you
Yes,
just
sir.
keep pushing as well, man. It's the
You know it.
same
Hey, keep
stuff.
going.
It's
Yes,
the same. It's always the same thing. The only thing that changes is the context, man. Shoot,
exactly.
we just keep pushing, whatever it is. So it was good talking
Absolutely.
with you, my brother.
Good
As
talking, man.
always, I'm glad we finally got
Yes,
on.
sir. Yeah. Finally made it happen, man. So yeah, happy Sunday. I hope that you all continue to be blessed and safe. Have an amazing 2021, and we'll stay in touch, bro.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'll talk to you soon, my brother. Have a good one.
All right, man. Peace.
See you, brother.
So yeah, guys. Wow. I just thought that was just such a powerful episode 47. I mean, Bernie has just an amazing story. If you listen to the whole episode, you can kind of just see everything that he's been through, the trials and tribulations, the matriculation that he had to do after every injury. Continue, like he said, continue to come back, continue to press forward. So super uber excited that he was able to jump on and really give us that game and give us that knowledge. If you're in the Colorado Springs or Denver area, please go see his ground sports performance. They're in an amazing facility out there, developing, high school athletes, middle school athletes, young athletes, but also pro athletes, college athletes as well. So yeah, if you're in the Denver, Colorado Springs area, please go check them out at Ground Sports Performance. Yeah, super excited. We're approaching a half century of episodes. I mean, I started this about 8 months ago, and just have gotten so many people reach out and want to be on the show. So we're learning how to grow it. We almost have some t-shirts um, printed out for all our supporters, guests that's been on the show, people that listen, people that watch. Just definitely looking to get a couple of products out. It's kind of like how Master P said, product always outweigh talent. So no matter how talented you are, if you got some products and you're passionate about it, you're already winning. So we have that on the forefront coming soon. So yeah, if you watch this whole episode, please leave a comment on YouTube. If you have a question, I'll make sure I answer. If you are listening to this podcast, please leave a review and rate us. Obviously, as you all know, in the audio space, that goes a long way into growing listenership. So yeah, until the next episode, peace.
Subscribe to LSD TV to become an official member, but you already knew that, where we dig deep and find our hustle, and every single day, we are better than yesterday. Subscribe.